Okay, welcome to our live streaming today. If you're live, let me see you. Let me know where you're streaming from. Thank you very much for joining us and welcome to IFÁ College. Aboru Aboyo. Put that here. If you are joining in, let me know where you're streaming from. Let me know if you're live and where you're streaming from. And as you're joining in, please keep tapping on your screen. Keep tapping on your screen. There's one on the table in my room. Keep tapping on your screen and let's get started. Can I know where you're streaming from? Welcome. This is IFÁ College. This is the live Sunday morning live streaming of IFÁ College TikTok channel from Kwara State, Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Please keep tapping so that we can get this live streaming going on. Please keep tapping on your screen as we join in and let me know where you're streaming from today. Keep tapping on your screen and let's get started. Keep tapping on your screen. We already have 10 people. Let's get it started. Today I have another engagement after now, so I won't be able to stay so long on the live streaming today. So we need to be as fast as we can. Put it into the adapter. Just on top of that, please. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know, and then let me know where you're streaming from and keep tapping on your screen. Keep tapping on your screen. So when we start and I start to do the Udu, you look at it and tell me which Udu file it is. Turn that on. Yeah. Please keep tapping on your screen and let's get started. Yes, you can hear me clearly. Okay, perfect. Reduce it to the rest. Yeah, to the rest. Okay. Yes, keep tapping. Tell on the panel that I need the last on the screen. The other phone is not with me, so you should please do it. Yeah. Is the second phone around? Ask her if the second phone. The second phone. Okay. So today we are teaching on different IFÁ divination system. For those of you that saw the video I posted yesterday, I already talked about it, that we'll be teaching on the IFÁ divination system. Turn it on and let's see if it will make it better. We'll be teaching on the IFÁ divination systems, the different kind of divination systems we have in IFÁ. What does it mean? When? How does the Babalawo actually calculate the divination? What does, by the word, what does each item mean? What does each Odu mean? How is the divination system even done? A lot of you have you have had divination done for you, either online or offline. And you would wonder, how does this person get to know so much about me? Forward. How does this person, this side? You'll be wondering, how does the, face this way, to face it, yeah. You'll be wondering, how does the Babalawo or the Ìyánífá gets to know so much. Press this down. It's because of the divination system that we have. Open it. Now try to turn it on and off and let's see the difference. But a lot of the times you don't understand that it is okay. Turn it on now. Then turn it this way. Let it face. Okay. So the divination systems that the Babalawo reads or the Ìyánífá reads is what we're going to learn. Now I know that a lot of people, because in the comment section of that video that I posted yesterday describing what I'll be talking about, a lot of people said, oh, we are not supposed to teach people these things. This is our culture, our tradition. You are not supposed to teach it openly to everybody. They are supposed to come and learn it. We are supposed to hide it and keep it secret. We hear a lot of that. So let me start by correcting that impression. Okay, we'll start by correcting that impression and helping you to understand why we have to teach these things, and why one of the reasons our culture, our tradition had been suppressed over the centuries is because we have been hiding it, and we have been letting other people tell our stories and other people give the narrative of what we are doing. But now, the reason most of you are on this timeline is because you have heard some things about Ifa that doesn't sound like all of those negative things that you used to hear. That's why. It's because you have started to hear the truth here and there, and then your inquisitive part is saying, oh, so this thing is not even as bad as they say it is. So it's not as, you know, as terrible as they say it is. Bring it on, Libby. It's not as bad as they say it is. It's the knowledge we are putting out there that is changing the narrative. So when you say that we should continue to keep everything about Ifa secret, Ifa is not a secret cult. Isheshe is not a secret cult. Ifa is not for a secluded few people. I always say this. Ifa was given to the Yoruba people, but it was given for the rest of the world. It was given to the rest of the world. And whether we like it or not, the rest of the world are taking advantage of certain things in and out of Ifa, and they are using it for modernization, westernization in different arms of life. In medicine, in psychology, in physics, in philosophy, in agriculture, in computers, in different forms of technology. A lot of things that we had in Ifa, people are working it out, progressing on it, expanding their life through it. I know the rest of the world will argue, oh no, they didn't steal those things from Ifa. Our narrative is not even whether they stole it from Ifa or not. Our narrative is that if they have it, we also have it. And the reason it was sent to us, the reason Olodumare gave it to us, is not so that we can hide it. It's so that we can work on it, expand on it, use it. Take for instance this divination system. We have heard 1,000,001 times that binary is the basis of computer and IT and everything that has to do with the computer technology, IT, all of that. And we have also known that the basis of Ifa is binary. So imagine that we were allowed to, or we encouraged ourselves to continue to transform the binary system on which Ifa was laid. If we continue to transform it, we would have gotten to what computers is today by ourselves. We would have gotten there. But because we want to hide it, we want to keep it as though there is a certain benefit that is doing for us that the rest of the world must not know. No. Let's change our narrative from that. Ifa is not something that we have to hide. I know how much we want to feel like we are the custodians of Ifa, but that is not going to change in 1,000,000 years. Odu Ifa is written in Yoruba. The Yoruba people are here. It is us. Nobody can take that away from us ever again. Even if they take something and use it and they don't give reference to Ifa, we know that it is there. So let's first of all change that narrative of we have to hide it. We don't have to hide it. It's not something that needs to be hidden. Put this here, let's try it. It's not something that needs to be hidden. Now, that being said, keep tapping on your screen. When we get to 10K likes, I will get this teaching started. But we are going to be talking about, okay, yeah, it's good. Stop it with something. Put something big. Help him get this. So we're going to be talking about the different divination systems. All of these items in front of me, you have seen it being used in different ways. And there's nothing spiritual or mystical about it. It's just scientific. It's just pure mathematics. It's just pure, you know, human. Turn it in a certain way. No. Bend it to the, no. Let it tilt to the back. No, let it tilt more. Okay. Then put this one down. Okay. Alright. So there is nothing mystical or hidden about it. There is nothing mysterious about it. It is pure science, pure mathematics. It is pure human reasoning. For lack of better word, let me say it's just pure common sense. Is that okay? So let's keep tapping on our screen, keep liking, keep sharing, progress. Let's get the live streaming started. Please, let's go on. Àbọ̀rọ̀ àbọ̀yè mo kí gbogbo wa tá wà lórí live streaming mi nílé lóko lẹ́yìn odi àti níbi gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ mi. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí àkọ́tún ètò wa, ètò yín lórí Ifá College níbi tá a ti ń fi ọgbọ́n, ìmọ̀ àti òye tó wà nínú Ifá, tó wà nínú ìṣẹ̀ṣe tá a ti fi ń kọ́ ara wa. Ojúmọ́ ire fún gbogbo yín o, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílẹ̀ Áfíríkà, nílẹ̀ Adúláwọ̀, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lókè òkun náà, gbogbo yín la kí ṣe dáadáa ni. A mọ̀ pé ilẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ́ ní àwọn apá kan ni. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Canada, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Amẹ́ríkà, a mọ̀ pé ilẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ́ ni, àmọ́ àwa ti dọ̀sán báyìí bọ̀. Ká tún máa kí yín pé ẹ kú ojúmọ́. Ojúmọ́ tó mọ́ wa lénìí, ojúmọ́ ire ni, ojúmọ́ ayọ̀ ni, ojúmọ́ ìdùnnú, ojúmọ́ àlàáfíà ni, láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ìrètí ọjọ́ ìní mú wá, tí ọ̀sẹ̀ tuntun yìí mú wá, òun ló máa jẹ́ tiwa. Mo ṣe ẹ̀làbọ̀rú, ẹ̀làbọ̀yè, ẹ̀làbọ̀ ṣíṣe fún gbogbo babaláwo, gbogbo ìyánífá, gbogbo àwọn oníṣègùn, gbogbo àwọn bàbá lóríṣà àti ìyá lóríṣà lórí igun mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin àgbáláyé níbi gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ mi lénìí. Ẹ ṣé o, ẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ̀yin la máa bá, àwa náà lẹ máa rí láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Lénìí, nǹkan tá a máa gbé yẹ̀wò lénìí, òun náà ni àwọn ọ̀nà tí à ń gbà dá Ifá, àwọn ọ̀nà tí à ń gbà bá Ifá ní gbólóhùn, òun la máa sọ lénìí. Bí mo ṣe ń sọ ní èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, màá máa túmọ̀ ẹ̀. Bí mo ṣe ń sọ ní èdè Yorùbá, èdè abínibí, àtún máa túmọ̀ ẹ̀ lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì fún àwọn tí wọn ò gbọ́ èdè Yorùbá. Everything I said now was just greeting everybody, home and abroad, strangers, visitors, those of you that are joining for the first time, and those of you that have been here, you know, as steady viewers. Thank you very much for joining today. I say Àbọ̀rọ̀ àbọ̀yè, Ògbó Atọ́ to you. To all the babalawos, Ìyánífás, babalorishas, ìyálórishas, àwọn oníṣègùn, home and abroad, I say welcome to another live streaming. So today, we're going to be diving into the teaching of the different items or systems of divination in Ifá. For those of you that are meeting me for the first time, I am Ìyánífá Ẹwà, popularly known as Ìyánífá Ẹwà, and I'm the founder and the pioneer of the IFÁ College, the first soon-to-be accredited online university of Ifá, Òrìṣà and Yoruba studies in Nigeria. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, láṣẹ Èdùmàrè, gbogbo ìgbìyànjú tá à ń gbé, gbogbo ẹsẹ̀ tá à ń gbé lórí pé kí IFÁ College lè jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga yunifásitì tó jẹ́ ti aládàáni lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára tá à ń pè ní íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì, tí àwọn èèyàn ti máa kọ́ nípa Ifá, nípa òrìṣà, nípa ìṣẹ̀ṣe àti nípa èdè àtàṣà Yorùbá. Nítorí pé kí gbogbo wa bá lè rí àyè láti kọ́, so that it can be available to everybody to learn, irrespective of your time zone, irrespective of your work schedule. That is why it is purely online. Kí gbogbo wa bá lè jàǹfààní ẹ̀ la ṣe fi sí orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára. I am Ìyánífá Ẹwà, popularly known as Ìyánífá Ẹwà, and today we'll get started. Àmọ́ ẹ̀yin ni mò ń dúró dè o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin mò ń dúró dè. Tá bá ti tẹ ká máa tẹ orí ẹ̀rọ alágbèéká wa, be tapping on your screen till we get to 10k likes. Tá bá ti lè dé 10k likes, ìyẹn ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàá ní ibi a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò wa tòní. Ṣùgbọ́n ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo gbogbo nǹkan tá a kó sílẹ̀ yìí. Let's take a look at everything that we have on ground. Mélòó nú ẹ̀ lẹ lè dámọ̀? Please, in the comment section, look at the items I have here and type out the names of the items you can identify. This is a school, this is a class. I'm not here to talk. Mi ò ń ṣe ẹ̀rọ asọ̀rọ̀mágbèsì tá a mọ̀ sí rédíò. I'm not a radio and I'm not a television to be watching. This is a class and I need your interaction. Bí mo ṣe ń béèrè ní kẹ́ ẹ máa dá mi lóhùn. As I'm asking questions, please answer. So of all these things that is here, which one can you recognize? Type out the names of the one that you know. There are different items. We have one. This is one. Bring the black one. This is one item. This is another item. This is another item. And this is another item. Okay? Another one is here. Now this is another type of it. So which ones can you recognize here? Let me know which ones you can recognize. A ní àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ fá ní àárín wa lénìí o, àmọ́ wọ́n wà ní ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán wa lénìí. We have children here who are in the IFÁ study school, but they are not going to be appearing on the live stream, but you'll be hearing their voice in the background. So people have started writing what they can identify. So children, please, what can you identify so that we know if the mommies and daddies on the live streaming are right? What is this? You need to say it loud so that they can hear you. What is this? What item is this? Which item can you recognize? What item is this?
Opele.
Say it again.
Opele.
Say it again. Let them hear you.
Opele.
So this item, àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ fá sọ pé ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ la mú dání yìí. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ ni ṣé wọ́n gbà á? Please keep tapping on your screen. Ká lè tètè 10k likes. Opele ni. This is what we call Opele. Now, what is this one?
Opele.
What is this?
Opele.
Àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ fá tún sọ pé ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ leléyìí o. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ̀yin mọ́mí àti dádì tẹ́ wà lójú fọ́nrán wa, ṣọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ náà leléyìí. Is this Opele? Look at it o. Both of them, are they Opele? Yes. Opele là ń pè méjèèjì. They are both called Opele. This one is made with brass and this one is made with beads, okay, and the seed of the Opele. So eléyìí ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ la fi ṣe pẹ̀lú kíní èso ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ yẹn, òun ní gangan fúnra rẹ̀. Eléyìí idẹ la fi ṣe, so ó lè poríṣiríṣi. A lè fi idẹ ṣe, a lè fi ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ ṣe. Both of them are called Opele. Okay. Kí là ń pè léyìí o, ẹ̀yin ará ilé, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, kí ni à ń pè nǹkan tí mo mú dání yìí? Ẹni tó bá mọ̀ kó sọ fún wa, mélòó dẹ̀ ló máa ń wà níbẹ̀? What item is this, if you know it? And how many of it is there, if you know? How many of it is there? And what are the items? I'm coming to the children. Please keep tapping, keep tapping. We're on 5k. Àti dé ìlàjì o, ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàá là ń lọ. We are going to 10k. Somebody said it is Ikin and it is 16. Children, kí lorúkọ ilé?
Ikin.
Ikín Ifá.
Ikín Ifá.
How many are there?
16.
16. Àwọn ọmọ ní Ikín Ifá ni o, wọ́n ní mẹ́rìndínlógún ló wà nínú ẹ̀. This is Ikín Ifá and we have 16 of it. Please, as you are tapping, send in your gift o. Àwọn gifters wà dà. Ẹ má dá wa dá léni o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Ẹ má dá wa dá o, ṣe rí tá múra dáadáa, tá ró dẹ́dẹ́, tá kàn dúdú láti wá kọ́ yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ léni. Let our gifters encourage us and keep tapping on the screen. Keep sharing so that more and more people will join us on this teaching. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ ẹ̀yin gifters wa, a dúpẹ́ o, ibi tẹ́ tí mú jáde Elédùà a máa fi ọ̀pọ̀ rọ́pò. So this is Ikín Ifá and there are 16. They are palm kernel nuts and there are 16 of them. They have to be 16. Now this 16, do you know what they represent? Why is it 16? Why can't I just make my own 17? Children, do you know what it represents? Say it loud, say it loud.
The 16 major Odwifa.
The 16 major Odwifa. The children said the 16 Ikin represent the 16 major Odwifa. So àwọn Ikin mẹ́rìndínlógún yìí, nǹkan tí wọ́n dúró fún ni ojú odù mẹ́rìndínlógún, 16 major Odwifa. Now, all together, how many Odwifa do we have? Let's ask somebody in the audience. All together, how many Odwifa do you have? Lápapọ̀, Odwifa mélòó la ní? Ní àkójọpọ̀ mélòó ni gbogbo Odwifa ta ní? 256. Ẹnìkan ní 101. Rárá o, kò ń ṣe 101. 32. Rárá o. Ẹ ti ń gbé gbági o. 256 is the total number of the Odwifa that we have. Now 256 yẹn, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ta ló lè bá mi kọ 256 yẹn ní èdè abínibí èdè Yorùbá? How many Odwifa do we have in all?
256.
Ta ló lè bá mi sọ ní èdè Yorùbá? Ẹ bá mi kọ síta ní èdè Yorùbá káàtì ẹ máa mọ bá a ṣe gbọ́ èdè Yorùbá sí. I want somebody to translate 256 in Yoruba. Let's see the first person that will get it. Ẹni tó bá gbà, ẹ jẹ́ ká ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ quiz lẹ́yìn. Ẹni tó bá gbà 256 yẹn ní èdè Yorùbá, ẹ má lọ Google ẹ o, òrìṣà wò yín, Ifá wò yín, Elédùmarè wò yín o. Ẹ má lọ Google ẹ o, ẹ kọ síta. Tó o bá mọ̀ pé orí Google ló ti lọ kọ́ àbórí AI, má padà wá síbí o. Just tell me, let's know if you know what it is. Somebody said, okay, I need to move towards the screen. The screen is a bit far away. Let me move towards the screen and see what somebody did. The person said, Ọ̀tàlénígbálémẹ́fà. Ọ̀tàlénígbálémẹ́fà. Now let's do a little Yoruba teaching. Yoruba numbering system, it is descriptive. Okay, just like you have English numbering system having and. Igba in Yoruba numbering system is 200. Àádọ́ta is 50. So lápá kan a sọ pé àádọ́ta lé nígba. Àádọ́ta ó lé ní igba. Àádọ́ta ó lé nígba, that is 250. Ó wá lé ní mẹ́fà. Okay? Or we say 260 divided by 4 and minus 4. Òun ló máa fún wa 256. But usually we say ọ̀tàlénígba ó lé ní mẹ́fà. A máa ṣe 200 and a máa kọ́kọ́ ṣe 250. Igba is 200. 50 is àádọ́ta. But we have shortened it to ọ̀tàlénígba. So instead of saying àádọ́ta lé nígba, ó tún lé ní mẹ́fà. Okay. The first person that types the ọ̀tàlénígba, please send me a message via DM. I have a gift for you. So let's continue. So we have 256 of this Odu. Now there are 16 major Odus. Tá à ń pè ní ojú Odu. 16 major Odu yẹn à ń pè wọ́n ní ojú Odu. Those are the 16 principal Odus. The order on which those 16 Odus are arranged, we cannot mix it up. They are together in the unalterable order that Orunmila gave it. That person that is saying, please check my stats, send a DM. I cannot do that in this live streaming because I will need personal information from you, your name and your mother's name, and you cannot be typing that in the presence of everybody. So just send a message via DM. Is that okay? And then I would respond to you. Or you send a message via WhatsApp. Okay, somebody will post the WhatsApp number now. Once the WhatsApp number is posted, I would need. Someone says I need mic. Please, can you hear me clearly? Everybody can hear me clearly. If you cannot hear me clearly, let me know so we know if I would add a mic to it. Go and bring my mic from my drawer. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, you can hear me clearly. All right. So the person that is saying we should use mic, please, maybe you should increase the volume of your phone. So we have 256. The first 16 is the major odu. Àwọn yẹn là ń pè ní ojú odù mẹ́rìndínlógún, the 16 principal odus. On those 16 principal odus is where the other odus are derived. The other 256 are called derivative odus. In Yoruba, a pè wọ́n ní àwọn amúlùodù. Is that okay? So we have those. We have the 16 and the 256. Yeah, it's probably from the person's end. 256. Now, I told you this is just pure mathematics. So Orunmila brought 16. Now, if you multiply 16 by 16, what are you going to? What will you get? The math students. Esheo, thank you for the gift. Ajama busigbayin o, ibi tẹ́ ti mú kò ní tán níbẹ̀. Àbùdí ló pé ni wọ́n pè tolókun, àbùdí ni wọ́n pè tọlọ́sà. Àbùdí ni owó àti ọlá yín á máa jẹ́ o láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. How much is consultation? Just send a message via DM. I said if you multiply 16 by 16, what are you going to get? I didn't say if you add. If you multiply 16 by 16, what are you going to get? You are going to get 256. 16 multiplied by 16 will give you 256. Now, that shows us that the 256 Odwifa is just an interaction between the two Odus. It is just an interaction between the 16 major Odus. So the 16 major Odus interacted with themselves, and then it produced 256. So all the 256 Odus, they are a combination of one Odu with another Odu out of the 16 principal Odus. That is how we came at 256. Now, are we on 10K yet? We are not on 10K likes yet, so thank you for the gifts. Let's get to 10K likes and get our live streaming going. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. So we are talking about Odwifa. Orunmila is the one that brought Ifa. You need to understand. That's why you hear people say Ifa Orunmila. Orunmila was the one that brought Ifa. Ifa is not a person. Ifa is not a human being. Ifa did not walk this earth as a human like our orishas walked this earth as human. Orunmila was the person, that was the physical human body that brought in the Ifa, that brought in the Odu. So everything that we learn and everything that we know was according to what Orunmila, it was according to what Orunmila said to us and what Orunmila told us. Keep dropping your comments and your questions. I will attend to them later so that we are not interrupted. So we have gone past 10K now. Let's continue. So Orunmila was the one that brought, the beads are called Ileke, yes. Orunmila was the one that brought Odwifa, and he was the first that taught it. He was the one that Olodumare gave it to, and he was the first that taught us in the line of this. Now, when Orunmila initially came, he was teaching us and doing divination for us based on the knowledge that he has. Yes, we do divinations, we check, we do consultation, we do spiritual checking. Just send a message via DM. Please tell Okana that you should type out the WhatsApp number. One person that you should type it out so that I can pin it. You can send message via WhatsApp. Somebody will drop the WhatsApp number now, so you can send a message. Now, when Orunmila was on earth and he was teaching based on the knowledge he has. He was doing divination and checking based on the knowledge that he had. But there was a certain experience that happened. Nínú Odwifa Ìwòrì méjì. Now that story that happened, it went like this. Orunmila had children, and his children were also learning Ifa, and his children were, kings and chiefs and people of authority in different places. Thank you so much for the gift. They were people of authority in different places. They all came together, they had a meeting. And one of Orumila's children became disrespectful to him. He was disrespectful to Orumila. Orumila wa wò pé àti wá dẹgbẹ́ báyìí o. Gbogbo wa ti wà ní àti ń fìdí gbòdì báyìí àti di ẹgbẹ́. Tí ẹ wá mọ àwọn tó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ máa fún lọ́wọ́, kẹ́ ẹ máa ṣìbà fún. Orumila's son disrespected him, and he was trying to teach him a lesson, and also trying to teach us that we'll be reading the Ifa a very important lesson, which is respect for physical and spiritual authority, which is where our Iba comes from. You see, the Iba that we make when we start doing our Ifa divination, or when we are going to make our prayers, is very important. It is as important as the Ifa itself. It is as important as all our practices. So the child of Orunmila was disrespectful, was rude to Orunmila, and because of that, Orunmila being Olo, Orunmila left. He said he was leaving. You tell him to post it as a comment on the TikTok video. He sent it to my WhatsApp. Tell him to post it as a comment. Orunmila got upset and he left. Now, Orunmila leaving was not a sign of, oh, I'm angry, nobody can talk to me, I'm not listening to anybody, I'm going, I've left you people. It was to establish respect. No matter how much you learn, no matter how high you get, your Oluwo, your Babalawo, your Ìyánífá, your father, your mother, the authorities that Ifa has assigned to you, you have to always give honor and respect to them. So that incident happened, and Orunmila left. And when he left, the whole earth was in chaos, as expected. Wọ́n nígbà tí Orunmila lọ, wọ́n ní eku òkè bí eku mọ́, ẹyẹ òkè bí ẹyẹ mọ́, àtọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ mọ́, gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe ó dorí kodò. Òjò rọ̀ ńgbà tó yẹ kó rọ̀. Àwọn olóko ń gbin àgbàdo òwú. Omi ò jáde bó ṣe yẹ kó jáde. Oríṣiríṣi àrùn, ìjàmbá lóríṣiríṣi ló bá ọmọ aráyé. Now, when Orunmila left, a lot of things went out of order. People were not functioning the way they were supposed to function. Life was not going on the way it was supposed to go on. Crops were not growing the way it was supposed to. Rain was not falling the way it was supposed to. Different sicknesses and diseases and calamities. Life was in an entire chaos. And then, Orunmila was one that has been guiding them. Then the people that were living on earth at that time looked at themselves and says, hey, wow, what are we going to do? Kilamashi. And everybody said, Orunmila is the one that used to help us out in situations like this. Orunmila has gone, there is nothing to do, so let's call him back. And then they started calling on Orunmila day and night, left and right, back and forth. Have you told him? I can't see it. It's not showing on my screen. Okay. Please tell him that he should borrow me his phone. Let me do it. So they had to go and call for Orunmila, and they did. And Orunmila looked at them and he said, I'm not coming back to the earth, but I will give you something through which you can speak to me, you can ask questions, you can get answers, and life can begin to make sense again. Then Orunmila sent them these 16 Ikin. Ìgbà yẹn Orunmila wá fi Ikín Ifá yìí mẹ́rìndínlógún yẹn ó dá sílé ayé, ó fi ránṣẹ́ sí wọn. And then he told them, anytime that you had to speak to me, just make all your inquiries using this Ikin. Bó ṣe di pé à ń fi Ikin dá Ifá nìyẹn. So we are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Children, count to me. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Mẹ́rìndínlógún, 16 Ikin. That is what Orunmila sent. And that is what we have been using. Now, somebody might want to ask, so what was the story of Opele? How did Opele come by? Was it Orunmila that also sent Opele? Don't worry, we will get to the story of Opele. Now, this is another very important tool that is used in Ifá divination, and it is called Opon Ifá. What did I say?
Opon Ifá.
It is called Opon Ifá. This is Opon Ifá, or the tablet of Ifá. It is on this that divination is being done. On this Opon Ifá, that is where divination is being done. Now, if you look at the Opon Ifá, notice that there is something at this top. Can you see this image at the top? Who knows the name of this image that is at the top of this Opon Ifá? Look at the image very well and tell me, who knows the name of this image that is at the top of the Opon Ifá? The image that is at the top of the Opon Ifá, who knows what the image is? Children, what is the name of that image that is at the top of Opon Ifá? No, this is Eshu. Eshu is the name of the image that is on the Opon Ifá. Eshu is the name of the image that is on the Opon Ifá. Alright, let's do a little adjustment here. Let me see. So the image on the Opon Ifá is called Eshu. The image on the Opon Ifá is called Eshu. So, did somebody say robots? Eshu is the image on the Opon Ifá. Now, somebody is probably asking, of all the Orishas, why is it Eshu that is on the Opon Ifá? Why is it Eshu? Why is it not any other? Why is it not any of the other Orishas that we have? Yes, so this is what we are trying to get. Now, I have pinned the WhatsApp number. You can see that WhatsApp number. It was posted by Hannah Dibia. That's the WhatsApp number to reach me on, because I can't post the WhatsApp number myself. That's the WhatsApp number to reach on. So those of you that are trying to reach us on WhatsApp, that's the WhatsApp number. Now, Eshu is always at the edge. Look at this other Opon Ifá again. If you look at this Opon Ifá, you see that the designs is different from this one. You see the design. The design of this one has Eshu at the top. It has Opele at the side here. Different items. But one thing that is uniform with every Opon Ifá is the Eshu that is at the top here. And here is the reason why the Opon Ifá has Eshu. Orisha Eshu is that Orisha that works closely with Orunmila. Is that Orisha that stands as the connection or the mediator between Orishas and human, between Ifá and human. Is the Orisha that receives the information, gives the information, carries out the ebo, is the Orisha that stands as the intermediary. So in everything that we are doing in Ifá, Orisha Eshu is very significant. Is needed when we are doing our divinations, is needed when we want to appease the other Orishas. Orisha Eshu is very, very important when we are doing anything that has to do with Ifá and Isheshe. So this is what Orisha Eshu looks like, and is always at the center there. Little wonder that Orisha Eshu is the most misunderstood Orisha that we have. The most misunderstood Orisha. A lot of things has been said about our Orishas. Now, the person that is typing do IFÁ for me or do consultation for me, send a message via the WhatsApp number that was posted, or send a DM to get. We cannot do consultation on a live streaming like this. So the ambassador just posted the WhatsApp number. That is the WhatsApp number, my direct WhatsApp number, so you can send a message. Now we have talked about the Ikín Ifá. This is Ìrókò Ifá. Can you hear the way it sounds? This is what we call Ìrókò Ifá. This sounds as it's a tap tool that we use to tap our Ikín Ifá. And when we do this, we are calling the spirit of Ifá. We are trying to tell Ifá that, okay, I'm ready now, let's have a communication. Like you are dialing somebody's number to say, oh, I'm ready to speak to you now. I'm ready to hear from you now. Let our communication begin. That's one of the uses of this Ìrókò Ifá. It is also used as an identification. Anyone you see holding this Ìrókò Ifá, it's an identification to show you that that person is a Babalawo. That person is an IFÁ priest. That was how it was back in the day. Not like today that anybody can just buy it, anybody can just use it. Different people are using it. But back in the days when our forefathers practiced Ìṣẹ̀ṣe, it was used as a symbol to identify a Babalawo, and is also used to tap and summon the spirit of the Ifás, the spirit of the Ifá, when the Babalawo is having a divination. Now, another tool that we use in Ifá is this. Look at this powder. Who can tell me what this powder is? Who can tell me what this powder is? Yeah, but what is the name? Kí ni orúkọ? Ojo àtíkè o, àmọ́ kò ń ṣàtíkè o. Kí lorúkọ ẹ̀? What's the name? It is called what? Children, what's the name of this? It is called Osum. Osum. Inú igi osùn òun láti máa ń rí ìyẹ̀rẹ̀. Bó ṣe gbọ̀n sílẹ̀ yẹn la ṣe fi ń pè ní ìyẹ̀rẹ̀. Ìyẹ̀rẹ̀ ni, like that. It's a powder and it's from a tree called Osum. Now, a lot of people do not know that Osum, that tree that is called Osum, is a tree that helps with your memory. It helps with brain function and memory function, which is why if a Babalawo has that tree around him, you see the little plants that comes out from the tree. Àwọn ewé tó jáde nídìí igi ìyẹ̀rẹ̀ osùn tó jẹ́ ewé tútù, very small leaf, you know, when the leaf is just like a day old, fresh and nice green color. A Babalawo will cut it and chew it. It helps with memory function, it helps with brain boosting. Now that is to show you that that tree, that tree contains a spiritual power, a spiritual energy that helps with brain boosting and memory. And you will see why. You will see why in a bit. You will see why it is the tree of Osum that we use for Ifá divination to pour on the Ikín Ifá. Please keep tapping on the screen. Keep tapping on the screen. So the Osum is poured on the Ikín Ifá like this. We scatter the Osum. We pour it on the Ikín Ifá like that. This is how it is done. Now, very important, very, very important. Why Osum? Why not any other Iyere? Why not any other powder? Why Osum? I told you that Osum has, the Osum tree itself has brain boosting, memory boosting abilities. And that is why we take the fresh leaves, we chew it. It continues to help a babalawo with their brain function and their memory function, purely herbal. Now, when we are making a divination, tabati da Ifá sórí ọpọ́n yìí, when we are going to make the ebo of that Odu Ifá that comes out, we are going to pour this Osum on top of the ebo. Àti ṣe ẹbọ àti fẹ̀kọ́ sílẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan tí Ifá ní ká fi kún ẹbọ rú àti dà sínú igbá. We are going to pour this Osum on top of it. Now, why do we pour the Osum that we use for that Ifá? Now, I need you to understand this. If a babalawo is doing divination for like 10 people in that day, and all the 10 of them are going to have their divination, the moment he is done with the divination of the first person, he is going to pour the Osum into a nylon or a container and keep it. This one is for Odu Ifá Ejiobe that came out for Bimbo, Omo, Abibat. They will put it at one corner. Because when Bimbo, Omo, Abibat is coming to do her ebo, they have to pour the Osum for her Odu on top of that ebo before they take it to issue. And here is why. The Osum is carrying the information of that ebo. Remember that Osum has memory boosting abilities. The Osum tree has memory boosting abilities. Is the one that keeps the memory of that Odu that was done on it. So everything that we use in Yoruba spirituality, everything that we use in our culture and our religion is not random. It's not just something that we just decide to use. Everything can be explained to the last scientific details. And that is the uniqueness of Ifá and African practice. So it carries the memory of that Odu. And the moment they pour it on the ebo, it has to go, because the message of the Odu, it is the Iyere that everything will be marked on the Iyere. You know how we mark 1, 2, a babalawo will mark like this, he will mark like this, he will mark like this. It is marked on the Odu. The Odu carries the memory of the Odu, of the memory of the Iyere Osum carries the message of that Odu. Ori Iyere late Odu yen si. So it's like you take a biro and you write on a book. Why do you keep the book? Because the book is carrying the memory of that thing you have written. When it's time for exam, what do you go and take? You go and take your book and read what is written. You might not remember what the lecturer said word for word, but the day you are writing it down, your book, your exercise book took that record. And then when you start to read it, you will remember. Imagine all the love letters you wrote when you were in secondary school. And then you are packing your house. You are packing in your old house, in your room, in your father's house. You see those letters. You remember the person you wrote the letter to. You remember the thing that happened at that time. You just start to smile because you go down memory lane to that moment where it happened. What did the paper do? The paper carried the memory. The same way we write on Iyere Osum. Iyere Osum is the one that carries the information. So when we pour it on the ebo, we are transferring the information to the ebo to tell Eshu that this ebo Odu ti a fi da ebo yi ni. This is the message of this ebo. So when Eshu receives all the ebo, so many ebo and basic the Eshu can identify this with the letter that Iyere Osum has written. Same thing happens in a post office. The postman comes into. What I needed you to do was write the WhatsApp number as a comment. Yeah, you did comment because you wrote it like it looks like a number. TikTok does not allow that. So I've written it in a format that You see it in your clipboard, just paste exactly the way I put it. That's the only way it is there. Sorry for that. So it's like a post office. The postman receives letter. He comes to different people's houses and he picks letter. You have dropped it in front of your post house. He's picking letter. The postman is like a shoe. He's picking all the letters. He now takes it to his office. How do they identify it? With what is written on it. The address. The envelope is carrying the address. That's how they will know, oh, this one is going to N5B/784 Ijokodo Ibadan. This one is going to SW/758. Those of you that are not Gen Z, you remember when we used to write our house address like that? S5/324 Arimo Ibadan. NYB/78. Everything is written on it, and that's why the postman will come to you with your own letter. That paper that is the envelope is carrying the memory of the information. Osum is the paper that we have written this Odu, is carrying the information for each one. So when Eshu comes there and he sees all the 240 airboard that you have made today, he can identify, once the Osum is carrying that message, he can identify, this one is for this Odu, is for this person, and everything will be done that way. You see why there's nothing mystical or mysterious about it, and how every single thing matters. So whoever it is that is trying to do Ifa and he says, I cannot find the Osum, give me brown powder, Jare, it looks like brown, give me color 1 Mary Kay powder, and you pour it there, it's not going to work. Or somebody says, fine powder, is not going to work, because that powder does not carry the abilities of what Osum carries. Is that okay? Please don't be posted. Somebody is asking for the WhatsApp number. It's not carrying the memory of what the Osum is carrying. So we already know what the Osum is there to do. So let us continue. Please keep tapping, keep liking, keep sharing. I will take your questions. Let it keep coming. Keep sharing the live streaming so that we can have more and more people. We are almost 100 people on this live streaming. If we all power tap over the next 5 minutes, you know how far this live streaming will go. So that is it about the Osum. Now, let's come to Opele. How did we go from this to this? For those of you that are asking for divination, you are asking questions that doesn't have anything to do with what we are doing today. There is a WhatsApp number that I have pinned. Kana Didibia is the one that posted the WhatsApp number. It's pinned now, so you can copy that WhatsApp number and send a message. So how did we go from Ikin to Opele? Remember, Ikin is what Orunmila gave us, but now we have Opele, which is why I was telling you that technological advancement is what took us from Ikín Ifá to Opele. The Opele is an easier and faster version of the Ikin, and I will explain it to you like this. Why did we even need a faster version? Now, when a Babalawo is going to do his divination, this is how it looks like. The 16 Ikin. Now look, there are different sizes of it. See how big this one is. See how small this one is. Now, for the purpose of this, I didn't put so many big ones so that it will be easy to do. Now, the Babalawo will put all this Ikin in his hand, and then he will try to grab everything at once. But because of the quantity and the size, he cannot grab everything at once most of the time. Àwọn kan máa yọ sílẹ̀. Òun ni wá ṣe ń sọ pé wọ́n ní tó bá kù kan á tẹ méjì, tó bá kejì á tẹ kan tèjì, òun la fi ń tẹfá lótú ìfẹ́. Meaning that if you grab it and there are 2 knots left, you write down 1. If you grab it and there is 1 knot left, you write 2. 1 and 2 is what we use to establish the whole system of divination ló tù fẹ̀ níjọ́ kìíní àná nígbà tí ilé ayé bẹ̀rẹ̀. Binary 1 and 2 òun la fi dálẹ̀ ẹ̀fẹ̀ ní ó tù fẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ kìíní àná nígbà táwọn èèyàn ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ débí. This is it, as simple as this. It was binary that Ọ̀rúnmìlà was teaching us. If I grab it and it is 3, Ọ̀rúnmìlà says it is null and void, it is invalid. If I grab it and it is 0, Ọ̀rúnmìlà says it's null and void and is invalid. The only number that is valid is 0 and 1, 1 and 2. Now, we call it 1 and 2 because 0 is not a number. Bring me the IFÁ. Yeah. That which of the IFÁ books has 0 and 1? Has it written as 0? Okay. So it was 0 and 1, originally 0 and 1, but because 0 is not a valid number, that's why we use 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, okay? But it is simply binary. It is the binary system. That's how it starts. Now, let me show you an example of if we are going to do an IFÁ. So children, get ready. I'm going to put down some IFÁ. You will look at it and you will tell me what IFÁ it is. But let's go. Now, another thing that is worthy of note is in IFÁ, we do not read from left to right. You know how we read in English, we read from left to right. You start writing from left to right. In IFÁ, we use the ancient reading system, which is also what Arabic language uses because it's an ancient language. We read from right to left. You see what civilization did again? Turned it upside down. Right to left is the authentic ancient way of reading, and there is a reason why it's like that. I won't be able to explain that today so that we don't take too much of our time. But when they came, they turned it around to left to right. Totally just disrupted everything. Totally just in fact, there are some Christians that will tell you that the left and right, the right to left way that the Muslims read is demonic. You will understand that they are trying to turn life upside down. Meanwhile, they are the ones that upside down, and they think every other person that is doing right to left is upside down. But then again, we are grateful to our ancestors that we are seeing the light at this time. So we read IFÁ from right to left. Now we will begin. I need your attention. We will begin. I'll call everybody one by one to identify the code. Tó bá kù ọ̀kan, á tẹ méjì. Ẹyọ̀kan ló kù báyìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ méjì, á tẹ méjì. Tó bá kù èjì, wá tẹ̀ kan. Mẹ́rin ló kù báyìí, á lè tẹ̀yẹ̀ hàn. Àtúnbù mi again. Ẹ jẹ́ ká túnbù mi. Ó ti kù mẹ́ta báyìí, á lè tẹ̀yẹ̀ hàn. Àtúnbù, ó tún ti kù mẹ́ta, á lè tẹ̀yẹ̀ hàn. Eléyìí tí ẹ kù mẹ́rin ni, á lè tẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká túnbù. Mẹ́ta ló tún kù o. Now I need you to note how long it is taking us to go from one to the next. Ẹ jẹ́ ká túnbù. Eléyìí ti kù méjì báyìí, á tẹ ẹyọkan. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún máa bù lọ. Now imagine that the knots are bigger than this, and the hand of the person that is ó tún ti kù mẹ́ta báyìí, we cannot do anything with the 3. Ó tún ti kẹyọkan báyìí, a máa tẹ méjì. That's a 2. So children, can you see it? We have a 2, 1. We are going to the last one. We have 2, 1, 2. Now we are going to the last one. Okay. We have a 1. What are we going to write down? When we have 1, tabaleyo kon kí la máa tẹ̀, á tẹ méjì. So the Odù Ifá here is 2122. Which Odù is that? Odù Ika. Ika. Which Odù is that? Say it loud, let them hear you.
Odù Ika.
Odù Ika. Ika ló jáde báyìí o. Let's go to the other side. Let's go to the other side and see. Mẹ́ta ló jáde ń sìn o. Méjì tún ti jáde o. Kí la máa kọ sílẹ̀? What are we going to write?
One.
Ẹyọ kan. Now, see the number of minutes it's taking us. So we are getting somewhere. Ẹyọ kan tún ti já. Ẹyọ kan jáde. Mélòó la máa kọ?
Méjì.
Mélòó la máa kọ?
Méjì.
Méjì. A tún ti tẹ méjì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bá lọ. Ẹyọ kan tún ti jáde. Mélòó la máa tẹ?
Méjì.
A tún máa tẹ méjì. So the last one. Méjì ti jáde. Mélòó la máa tẹ? Ẹyọ kan. Mélòó la máa tẹ báyìí? Ẹyọ kan. So the second Odù is 1221. Which Odù is that?
Odi méjì.
No, is 1. Which Odù is that?
Odi.
Which Odù is that?
Odi.
So what was the first one?
Ika.
The second one is what?
Odi.
So Odù tá tẹ̀ jáde ń sìn. Now let me explain it to you. Odù yóò kì í ṣe ojú Odù. This is not one of the principal Odus. This Odù is a derivative Odù. Ọmọ Odù là ń pè. Ìká lọ́tún, òdì lósì. Ó wá di Odù Ifá Ìká òdì. That's the Odù now. Ìká òdì. Now see the number of minutes that it took us before we got here. This is the divination that is done using Ikin. And this is the divination that is done in Igbodu. Tá bá ń tẹ Ifá lọ́wọ́. Ikin la fi máa ń dá Ifá Igbodu. Ikin is the tool that we use to make divination in Igbodu. We have about 150 people. Please keep tapping. With 150 people, we have today be 210k likes. Keep tapping, and keep your gifts coming. Encourage us. I hope you are learning something. Encourage us, send in your gifts, and then let's move to Opele. Now, the reason Opele came in, like I said, Opele is an advancement, a technological advancement and growth from Ikin. Ikin takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time when we are doing divination with Ikin. Look at how many minutes we spend to get Ika Odi. We will continue to try it and try it and try it until we are able to complete it. And that might take 20 minutes, in fact. But then came the Opele. So what's the history of Opele? There is an Odù for Opele that I love so much. Wọ́n ní Opele lóyó tó dakùn délẹ̀. Adífá fún pèrègèdè tí ń ṣọmọ ọ̀yà ojúmọ́. Opele lóyó tó dakùn délẹ̀. Adífá fún pèrègèdè tí ń ṣọmọ ọ̀yà ojúmọ́. Opele was full. Opele ate and he was full. That is why he's done like this. Ó dakùn délẹ̀, ó yó ó dakùn délẹ̀. Òun la fi dífá fún pèrègèdè. Ìyẹn tí ń ṣe ọmọ ìyá ojúmọ́. Opele is gotten from the tree called Opele. These are the seeds of that tree. The seed, òun ní báyìí. They divided it into two and carved it, and we have it in halves. So it's 4 seeds in all. And the 4 seeds was divided into 2. So we have 4 on this side and 4 on that side. Now, let me explain it to you so that you understand where the technological advancements came in. Let's move this aside a bit. And let's close our. This is for us to clear out the Odu that was done there before. We have cleared out the Odu. Now, when we take this, the Babalawo will shake it. It's like you are rolling a dice. The Babalawo will shake it and he will gently drop it down. Just by shaking it in a few seconds and dropping it down, we already have our Odu. Now, children, the Odu that we have here is what? Is this 1 or 2? 2. So this is 2, 1, 1, 1. Which Odu is 2, 1, 1, 1? Somebody tell me. Osa. Odu Osa. The other one is what? 1, 1, 1, 1. Which Odu is that? Obe. That's the first Odu, Obe. So we have Odu Osa, Obe. Táwọn Babalawo ń pè ní Osa Lobe. You see how many minutes it took us to come up with Osa Obe? It was less than a minute. And we already have Osa Obe. Now see how many minutes it took us to arrive at the same Odu system using the Ikin. That is why we say that Ikín Ifá is an advancement of Opele. Opele is an advancement of Ikin. Now imagine that we had continued in that advancement. Imagine that we continue to advance on it. We would have advanced to the point where Yoruba people would have been able to make their own computer, because binary yi no ni. We would have advanced to a whole lot of things, which is why I was telling the person that commented earlier that said, don't teach this thing publicly, don't share our secret. The reason we kept it a secret is the reason every other thing we were supposed to benefit from, to be the first and the custodian of different technological advancements, we couldn't have it because we were hiding it, because we were keeping it. Anyway, wọ́n ti ṣe computer báyìí, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Elédùmarè. But this is an advancement of this. Now let's try this again. So the Babalawo will shake it and would put it down. Now there's something that is worthy of note. Let me tell you this. Tabawa ní Ìfá. Now this is for teaching purpose only. This is for practice purpose. If I were to be doing a divination for a client and a client is sitting here, I'm not allowed to wear my cap. Ní ibiti Ifá, but this is for teaching purpose. So now let's make this as practical as it can be. Àbọ̀ fìlà wa lórí, àwa forí balẹ̀ nídìí Ifá, à sọ pé Ifá orí mi rèé o. We are paying homage to Ifá, to Ọ̀rúnmìlà, to our ancestors, and to every other person or every other being that makes this a reality. Now, just so that you know, because some of you are saying that there is a way Babalawo can manipulate the Odu that will come out. The Odu that we did the first time was what? Osa Obe. That's Osa Obe. Now, look at this other side. Which Odu do we have now?
Obe.
Obe. Obe. Obe on the right. This is 1, 1, 1, 1. And on the left we have 2, 2, 1, 1. That's Obe Omori. Obe Omori. You see that it's different from the other one. You see that it is different from the last one. So for every time that we shake this and we put it down like this, the Babalawo gets a different combination that he cannot control. The only thing that controls that outcome is the person that we are making a divination for and the question that the person is asking. So you come to a Babalawo and then he asks you, and then you speak. You talk to the Ifá, Ifá, this and this and this. This is my question. This is the situation of things. Blah 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 blah. And then you give it back to your Babalawo. And then the Babalawo asks you for your name. What's your name? My name is Kelechi, the son of Ngozi. Torí Kelechi ọmọ Ngozi la ṣe dáfá. Iwájú ọpọ́n Ifá, ẹ̀yìn ọpọ́n Ifá, olùmọ̀ràn lọ́tún, olùmọ̀ràn lósì. Má fi ibi péré, má fi re pé bí bó bá ṣe rí gangan ni kó o ṣe sọ fún mi. And then we put it down. And then once it comes down, so Ogbe what? Ogbe Omorin, Ogbe on the left, Omorin on the right. Now some of you are surprised that how are these little children? How do they know about Ifá? Because everybody here is less than. How old are you, Asian? She's 5. How old are you?
8.
She's 8. How old are you?
10.
She's 10. How old are you? 13. All of them are under 16. And they have learned to be able to understand the Odu. So if they go somewhere and a Babalawo does the Opele and shakes the Opele and puts it down for them, what is this Odu? Look at this Odu. What do we have here? 1, 2, 1, 1. Which Odu is that? 1, 2, 1, 1. Which Odu is that? Otura. What of the other side? 1, 1, 2, 1. Which Odu is that? Oturupon. Let me see. No, it's 1, 1, 2, 1. That's not Oturupon. That's Irete. So this one is what? Otura. Check and make sure that it's Otura. I want you to 1, 1, 2, 1. So this is Otura Irete. So when they get to a Babalawo and a Babalawo does divination for them, they already know what the Odrifa is saying. Otura Irete. You will now take your book. Where is the Ìyánífá? Separate books. And I don't want any other. As we are doing it, be writing out the Odu. Is a classwork for you. Write out the Odu. So this one is what? Draw it down and write it down. Kafi Okokon, Kafi Peyemeji. So as we are teaching the mommy and daddy online, you are also learning. Get your pencil. So they will now take the Ìyánífá and check what it means in the Ìyánífá. This Ìyánífá has all 256 Odu. This one is purely in Yoruba. We have the one that comes in both Yoruba and English. So they can easily just say, the Babalawo said to me that day, this is what it means, and they understand it. Is that okay? This is what it means and they understand it. Those that are asking for the IFÁ book, let me send a message. I will post the WhatsApp number now, and then you can send a message on WhatsApp requesting for the IFÁ book. I will copy it and send it now. And then you can, and then, so okay, it is at this point that I need to tell you that we have a course at the IFÁ College. This is a school where you can learn. This is a school where you can learn. You can learn this online at your own pace. That is the reason IFÁ College was established. The WhatsApp number that I pinned, posted by Kana, is the WhatsApp number that you can reach me on. Send a message, whatever question you have, so that you do not distract us here. Send a message, take it from her and tap it. You can register for the course IFÁ Studies. IFÁ Studies is a course that we teach both adults and children. You will learn the Odrifa just as these little children are learning. It is online. You don't have a fixed timetable. The class is designed on a schedule that works with you. Children go to school and they can still learn. As an adult, you do not have an excuse. Learn and know these things for yourself. So send a message via WhatsApp and request that you want to learn you want to register for IFÁ studies. Either you want to register your kids or you want to register yourself. I've pinned the WhatsApp number again. Just send a message via WhatsApp, whether it's a book or whichever one. Where are you located? Please, can you send a message? Where I work from, it depends on what I'm doing for you. I'm not one of those Ìyánífás that sit down somewhere and say, I'm waiting for you, come. You book an appointment. I will know what you have come for. If it's IFÁ you have come for, we will book an appointment at the shrine where I do IFÁ. If it is Osum that you need to appease at that time, we will book an appointment at the Odo Osum. Whatever it is you need to do, we go straight to where you have your work done. We meet there, we do the work, and we go. And if you have to walk into my shrine, that is after an appointment has been booked, so as to make it easier for every one of us, you know, to get time for what we are. Because if I tell you where my location is, I will have a crowd of 300 people outside. Please, I want to see Ìyánífá. I want to see Ìyánífá. By the time we respond to 50 people, we let issue. The work that we are supposed to do, the etutu, the ebo, the dafa, and everything we are supposed to do, we won't be able to do it. Is that okay? So let's just send a message, whatever it is you need, then we can make time for it. Now we have been using this Opele to explain. Now let's use the second Opele. So you see that using Opele is faster than using Ikin. But Ikín Ifá is the original tool, which is why when we are in Igbodu doing your IFÁ, it is Ikin that we use. I will explain IFÁ for you. Now let's do this. So we shake it like this, and then we. Oh wow! This is this Odu is what? Is one of the is what? It's just the same thing. Just like when this one is opened. If it's open like this is what? And if it's down like this is what? So what is this? A geogbe. What is this? So once we have the same Odu on the right side and the same Odu on the left side, we have a principal Odu, what we call Oju Odu. And this Oju Odu now is giving us what? A geogbe. Now let's try it again, so that you would understand that a Babalawo is not the one that determines what it is, and you can get random combinations. So we can get random combinations here. Let's straighten it out. Now, look at the second attempt. Children, what do we have here? 2, 1, 2, 1. Which Odu is that? 2, 1, 2, 1. Who is the first person to give me that Odu? 2, 1, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1 is what? Ofun. What is the second one? 2, 1, 1, 1. Which Odu is that? Ofun on the right. Which Odu? Osa. Is what? Osa. Osa. So this Odu together is called what? Ofun, Osa. You see that is totally different from the first one we have, which is Ojobi. That is to show you how random this thing is, and how a Babalawo cannot just know to say, this is what I want to come out. No, he's not the one that determines. Now again, we have what? Read out what we have here.
2, 1, 1, 1.
Which Odu is that? 2, 1, 1, 1. Osa. And this one is what? Obe. That is Osa, Obe, Osa, Obe, Onla dancing. You see how it is? So a Babalawo cannot even determine what Odu is going to come out for you and when. And then another part of it that I need you to understand is this. The whole 256 Odu, there is a probability. We have 1 out of 256 probability that one of the Odu will come out. Now, all the 256 Odu, the Babalawo does not know every one of them. He cannot know every one of them. Babalawo kan ò lè gbọ́ fátán, kò lè kọ ifá tán, which is why we have our Babalawos. They work in team. Méjì, mẹ́ta, mẹ́rin. Òun ni Yorùbá ṣe máa ń sọ pé awo ní ń gbé awo ní gbọ̀wọ́. Awo ní ń gbé awo ní gbọ̀wọ́. The awo is the one that supports the other awo. This person knows this Odu. That person knows that Odu. Different Odus. We will come together and we will learn. So as against Christianity and other foreign religion, where you have one person wanting to be the figurehead, everybody wants to see one person, it's just one person. African spirituality, Ifá and Ìṣẹ̀ṣe, does not have that. There is no Babalawo that will say, oh, I know it all, or oh, I'm better than the other Babalawo. We are all working together in a team. Kò sí ẹnìkan tó lè kọ ifá tán. Wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá kọ́ fá tán, aṣọ ẹ̀ máa pọ́n ni. Kélédùmarè má jẹ́ ká pọ́n láṣọ o. So we pick the ones. Some Babalawos are just, they have learned about 5 or 10. Tó ti kọ́ dénúdénú. That's not supposed to mean that they don't know the names of the 256. I need you to understand that. The name of the 256 Odu is not learning the Odu. You can know the name of all 256. It's a combination of the 16. So if you want to learn the Odu Ifá, let me give you a cheat sheet. The first 16 is what you should learn. The moment you know the first 16, you can combine every other thing. So at the IFÁ College, we teach you the techniques of how to learn and remember the first 16 Odu. Tá ń pè ní Ojú Odu. The principal Odu, the major ones. Once you learn it, every other one is just a combination of those ones. So that is how we have a technological advancement from Ikin to Opele. Is that okay? Now, some of you have seen divination using this Oweyo, these cowrie shells. What is this divination called? Anybody that knows it? What do we call the divination using the cowrie shells? What do we call it? The divination using the cowrie shells. What do we call it? Comment section. Comment section. What do we call the divination using the cowrie shells? The divination using the cowrie shell is called Ẹ̀rìndínlógún. Now, I need you to understand this because most people will ask, why do some people use Opele? Some people use Opele and Ikin, and some people use Ẹ̀rìndínlógún. How did Ẹ̀rìndínlógún come to be? Ẹ̀rìndínlógún, these 16 cowrie shells, is based on the 16 major Odu. And in fact, it is not even all the 16. Technically, it's just 12. The other 4 hardly come up during the consultation. Osum, the wife of Ọ̀rúnmìlà, was the first person that was taught how to use the Ẹ̀rìndínlógún. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ló kọ́ ìyàwó ẹ̀ Osum. Please keep tapping on the screen. You guys are not encouraging us. We are just on 50K. You guys are not encouraging us. We are just on 50K. Keep tapping, keep liking, keep sharing, and keep your gifts coming in. Encourage this live streaming. We are almost 170 something people. Let's power tap for the next few minutes and let's get to 100K so that we continue our teaching. So just like the sorry? Am I using this one? No, not yet. I'm using this one now. We are teaching this one now. So just like the Ikín Ifá, the Ẹ̀rìndínlógún is also 16. 16 is the number of Ifá, just know that. The Ẹ̀rìndínlógún is also 16. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We have them 16 like that. So Ọ̀ṣun ni àkọ́kọ́ fún ní Ẹ̀rìndínlógún láti lò. And that is why àwọn olórìṣà àwọn ló ń lo ẹ̀rìndínlógún. When you see a ìyá Ọ̀ṣun, a bàbá Ọ̀ṣun, ìyá Ṣàngó, bàbá Ṣàngó, àwọn olórìṣà nìyẹn. Those ones are attached to one òrìṣà or the other. Now I need you to listen to me here so that you just don't pick one half statement and run into the public with it. Now we are all one. Àtàwọn onífá, àtàwọn olórìṣà, ìkọ̀kan náà ni gbogbo wa. But the means of divination is one of the major differences between us. Àwọn onífá, àwọn yẹn là ń pè ní babaláwo àti Ìyánífá. We use Opele and Ikin. Àwọn olórìṣà tá à ń pè ní bàbá lórìṣà àti ìyá lórìṣà, the olórìṣàs that we call bàbá lórìṣà and ìyá lórìṣà, they use the ẹ̀rìndínlógún owó ẹyọ. And this ẹ̀rìndínlógún is limited to the first 16 odu. In practical terms, it's just 12. They don't even have all the way to the 16. Now, we have a course at IFÁ College called ẹ̀rìndínlógún Studies. That course is based on ẹ̀rìndínlógún alone. Somebody asked in the comment section, the person said, which one is better? There is no such thing as better. There is no competition. There is just different. I need you to understand that when you come into IFÁ, there is no such thing as which one is better than this, and which orisha is better than which orisha, which divination is better than which. There is no such thing as which one is better or which one is powerful, which one is stronger. There is just a difference. This one is different from this one. This one is limited to this. This one is used for this. Just the way we cannot say Ikin is better than Opele. We can only say they are different. But Ikin has a place where only him can stand, which is inside the bodrum. You cannot do ẹ̀rìndínlógún there. You cannot use Opele there. Ikin owns that, and Ikin has that place. Regular everyday divination, we use Opele. It doesn't mean it is better than Ikin. And for the olóríṣà, they use ẹ̀rìndínlógún. It doesn't mean it's better. It's just different. So Ọ̀ṣun la kọ́kọ́ fún ní ẹ̀rìndínlógún láti dá Ifá. Ọ̀rúnmìlà had to travel from place to place, from city to city, from country to country. Turn this one off. Let me see. Yeah, by the side. From city to city, from place to place, Ọ̀rúnmìlà had to travel. Turn it on back. And when Ọ̀rúnmìlà was traveling each time, he told Ọ̀ṣun, he said, before I return, and people need to do divinations, let me give you this. And he taught her how to do it. Òun ló ṣe di pé àwọn olórìṣà, àwọn ló ń lo ẹ̀rìndínlógún. Now, is it possible for you to learn ẹ̀rìndínlógún and to also learn how to use Ikin and to also learn how to use Opele? Yes, you can. But you have to majorly identify with one. Just like you go to school, you have a major, you have a minor. We go to school. While we were studying IT, I have a first degree in computer engineering tech. While I was studying computer engineering tech, I took courses in history, general course. You take history, you take English, you take all these courses. I did maths to my final year, but I don't have a major in mathematics. My BSc is not mathematics, but I did mathematics from 100 level to final year. It's the same thing. You will have your major, which for I now as an Ìyánífá, my major is the Opele and the Ikin. But I also know how to do divination with ẹ̀rìndínlógún torí mo kọ́ as a form of knowledge, but I don't use it for my divination. Àwọn olóríṣà ló ń lò, and it doesn't mean that what olóríṣà we see when they use Ikin is different from what you are going to see. So if you want to learn it, you will register at IFÁ College and take the course on how to learn it. I'm not going to teach you all of that in a live streaming here. So if you want to learn, send a message via WhatsApp and say, I want to register for either ẹ̀rìndínlógún course or IFÁ Studies. There are other courses there, but you can choose ẹ̀rìndínlógún for if you are interested in learning about divination, Erindilogun or IFÁ studies is what you would learn. Now, when you learn this, does this automatically make you a babalawo? Less stressed out. So, those of you that want to learn and you want to send a message via WhatsApp, the WhatsApp number has been pinned on your screen, posted by Kana. You can get the information there. Now, coming to IFÁ College to learn divination, to learn about the old IFÁ, to learn about Opele and Ikin and Erindilogun, does that make you a babalawo? No. A short course of 3 months, 6 months, 1 year course cannot make you a babalawo. What it takes to be a babalawo requires more than just that. But you are coming to get knowledge, to understand the knowledge that was handed over to your ancestors. Training to become a babalawo takes several years. It's not the one that you have now, that somebody will come from abroad and will come to Nigeria. Tó bá ti lè tẹ̀fá, tó ti dúró sí Nigeria fún oṣù mẹ́fà, he goes back to his country and he already says he's a babalawo. That's not how it works. That is an insult on the time, the skills, and the resources that Orunmila himself puts into this practice. You do not become a babalawo because you have learned Odrifa in 6 months. No, that doesn't make you a babalawo. Years of learning, years of experience goes into that profession called a babalawo. Èmi ti wà lẹ́nu nǹkan ṣe fancy ọdún méje ni. This is my 7th year in learning about Ifá. Ọdún méje, the 7th year. So it's not, don't fall for people that just crossed over yesterday or they just went to dust a book because they can recite Odrifa and it's sounding melodious. Then you are giving them your name and your mother's name to do a divination for you, to do Ebo and Etutu for you. That's not how it works. But can you learn about Ifá? Yes. But to become a babalawo, kò ń ṣe iṣẹ́ téèyàn kọ́ láàrin ọdún kan, ọdún méjì, ọdún mẹ́ta. Is that okay? So coming to IFÁ College to learn about Odu, about Opele, Ikin, Erindilogun, and the different ASE in Odu, it does not make you a babalawo or an Ìyánífá, but it is part of your journey. You can learn that. Tó bá wá wọ igbódù, tó bá wá sọ pé iṣẹ́ tí orí fi rán ẹ kó o máa dáyàn lóhùn, kó o ṣiṣẹ́ oníṣègùn, then you can fully be physically attached to a babalawo and learn. Emphasis on physically. You understand what I'm saying? Just the same way you cannot learn medicine and surgery online. At least before your doctor, your professor, your consultant can explain things to you online, you must have been physically present for an extended period of time. So please don't fall for it. When people just wake up one morning and then because there is a wave that is going into IFÁ right now, a lot of people will just, they know 3 SM, 3 Odrifa, you don't know anything. They are better than you, and because of that, they think that they can be your Oluwo and be your babalawo. Please be careful. So you can learn all of these things at the IFÁ College, but it doesn't make you a babalawo. Now, I've explained to you what the Erindilogun is and what it is used for and the people that use it. Now, let's go to the other part of our teaching. The other part of our teaching is, how do they even know? Okay, so if a babalawo says, Odrifa that has come out is a Jogbe. Here now we have a Jogbe. Okay, Jogbe has come out. How does the babalawo know that he has to do with me? Did Ifá mention my name? No. Ifá did not mention your name in that Odu. So how does the babalawo relate it to you? How do they know so much? How do they know that that story is going to match your own? Mind you, based on research right now, we've heard that there are about 400 ASE under each Odu. What does that even mean? So we have the Ìyánífá. Let's go from what you know to what you don't know. Let's get to 100K and then we get to the part 2 of this. Power tap till we get to 100K. Send in your gifts and then we continue. I'm waiting for you. Meanwhile, let me answer the questions. Bring the phone for me. Let me check all the questions that people have sent, so I'll answer. We are going to the second part, which is how to understand, not this phone, this other one. Come to the back. How to understand the Odu. You keep tapping the screen on that one. How to understand, clean the dress that is on it off. How to understand the Odu. How is the Babalawo able to interpret? Just bring it up. Yeah. Okay. So let me answer the questions. Be careful. Let me answer the questions while you power tap. We get to 100K and we continue. Has anyone ever thought of writing an Odu app? IFÁ College is working on an Odu app. Those of you that have been on my live streaming, you know we have mentioned it. We have started working on the Odu IFÁ app, yes, and before the end of this year, the app will be launched, which is why we say support us. There is a lot that is going into all the projects that we have at hand. IFÁ College itself is a project that is consuming a lot of resources. To set up a private online university in Nigeria, you are talking hundreds of millions. You can go online and search the requirements of NUC to set up a private online university. You can check it there. You will see it. We are doing that. We are working on the app. You know how much IT guys, tech guys charge today to build up an app. So we have some volunteers that are working on the app at their own pace. They are just volunteers where they have not been paid nothing for it, and they've been working on that project for months. Now, it would have been faster if we had the resources to put into it, but there are so many other things we are doing at the same time. You see all this information that I come to share with you online. I was not born into an IFÁ family. For those of you that have heard my story, I've said it over and over again. My grandfather was a reverend in the Methodist Church. My great-grandfather, was a reverend in the Methodist Church. My grandfather was a reverend in the Anglican Church. Mi ò délé bá anything IFÁ. So all the information I'm giving you right now is based on personal research that I had to do. Personal research that I had to do by myself. Spending money to go from this place to that place to learn. And because the information we have is not sitting down somewhere where somebody can just read it, like you have the Bible and you just sit down and you read. No. IFÁ does not have that physical, handwritten, resource. So we have to go out and search. And it is a lot of work. I have had to travel through all of the states in the Southwest, through countries across the coast of West Africa, Benin Republic, to Togo, to Ghana, to find out the resources that they have for IFÁ and for Yoruba. You understand? So that we can put it together in a place where people can get it. I've had to travel outside of Africa. I literally left my family for a period of 2 years at a stretch, going out to research. It costs money. A lot of resources goes into it. Some people think we just go somewhere and read certain books. No. I keep making reference to a particular incident. There was one Babalawo in Oyo that they said had a certain information that I needed. I was in Oyo town for 2 weeks trying to see this man. Between 1 and 2 weeks, trying to see this man. Every time I went there, there will always be a long queue of people waiting for him. People have booked appointments. People are coming to see him from abroad. When I finally got the chance to see him, I only had 5 minutes to speak to him. Only 5 minutes. And 2 weeks. For those 2 weeks, I was staying in hotel, going around to ask other questions. They said, that Baba is the one that you can get it from. He's the one that can give you the information that you need. 5 minutes was the only time he had for me. So imagine what it takes for us to get here. So when we ask for support, it's not It's not just a cliche that people come online to say, oh, tap, 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 send us gifts, and everybody is just, this is more than that. So to answer the question, has anybody thought of putting together an Odu app? Yes, we're working on it. But why can't you speak our language? This person, let me answer you the way my spirit is asking me to answer you. When you say why can't you speak our language, you are insinuating why can't I speak Yoruba. Then I will tell you to go to my YouTube channel and go and check my previous videos. Then I will ask you, why didn't you join this live streaming earlier on? When I was speaking Yoruba, you come into a live streaming 2 minutes to the end, and then you start to ask questions. Oga, please calm down. Is that okay? I speak both Yoruba and English, and I translate. But this is what I always tell people. If you are on this live streaming and you do not understand English at all, then you don't need the information I'm giving you, because anybody that doesn't understand English at all, that can only communicate in Yoruba, that person has somebody in their house that is into Ifa. The person has one person in their neighborhood that does Ifa. So you don't need this information. You already have it at home. So the people that need this information online, they are most likely people that do not communicate in Yoruba alone. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So let me take other questions. I'm waiting for it to power tap to 100 so that we can continue. Let's see the other questions that is coming on. It says, please ma, what is the meaning of the bone and the cowrie that is used in Opele divination? Yes, we are going to get to that. The bone and the cowrie. Amafin dibo, iboni, when we are asking yes or no question in Ifa using Opele, when we are asking yes or no question, we use the bone and the cowrie shell for Igbo. But we explain it after you guys have gotten to 100K and we are ready. Please turn the fan here a bit. Any other question? Can I divine Ifa for myself? When you are doing Ifa divination, you are a client. You need a babalawo to do it for you. It's like a doctor is asking, can I perform surgery for myself? No, you cannot. When a doctor is sick, he goes to the hospital to see another doctor. Is that okay? So when you want to do a divination, you go to another prophet. Even if you are a babalawo, you will still need another babalawo to do a divination for you. Is that okay? But asking simple questions here and there, yes, you can use your Opele to ask questions here and there. How did you get to IYANIFA after school? Because your English is on point. What does English have to do with being IYANIFA? The fact that I speak English like this, does that translate to the fact that I cannot learn Ifa? So let's stop this narrative of ascribing anything that has to do with tradition and our culture and our roots to being a complete illiterate in Western education. No. There are so many babalawos that I have met in the course of moving around that are highly educated people. They are professionals, professors, doctors, people that have gone on to do other things in life aside from Ifa, and they were born into Ifa and they were raised in it, and they have become babalawos, and their children are, and they speak English. Like when you say on point, in quotes, their English is more on point than my own, and they are babalawo, so it has nothing to do with it. Yes, everybody that is an IYANIFA or a babalawo should be able to understand Yoruba, because Ifa is in Yoruba, but it doesn't mean that you cannot be educated or you cannot. My children are learning Ifa, and they are also getting quality Western education. And I have some of them who are not even born in Nigeria, who will still go and school in Western countries, and they are still learning Ifa. And whoever it is that Ori has picked among them will also become a babalawo or an IYANIFA if there is any one of them that Ori has picked. So it's not. So which other question? What is the meaning of the bone? Okay, I've answered that question. Any other question coming on? Ma, who wants to learn you want to learn, you are afraid of being scammed, take your time. The moment you are convinced that this is a place to be and your ori allows you to learn here, just send the message. Between now and then, I'm not the one that is going to convince you that this is a scam, because even when you meet a scammer is not going to tell you I'm a scammer. A scammer is going to tell you that they are not. So my word of mouth is not what should convince you. Your ori, your intuition is what should convince you that this is a place where you want to learn. Can you use six months course to learn divination for personal use? It depends on you. It depends on how fast you can learn. It depends on how well you can learn. It depends on how much of that 6 months you want to solely dedicate into learning Ifa. What other would you? Someone says, please demonstrate the Erindilogun. That is for the Erindilogun class. So if you understand it, if you want to learn it, the demonstration of the Erindilogun, then you should join the class. Erindilogun is simpler than Opele. Yes, it is. Please, how many Orisha do we have? We have 401 Irunmole and Orisha. Please continue the explanation on Oromila's wife. Okay, we have concluded that part. We can actually translate the Odufai into a divination app. Yes, you can, and we are doing that. What's the difference between Ofo and Ayajo? That is, I have explained that in another live streaming. So go to my YouTube channel. You will see where I explain that. How can I bring my kids? Please send a message via the WhatsApp number. And you will get, what other question? Perfect advanced initiative. Okay, thank you. What other question do we have that we have not answered? I think we have answered all the questions we have so far. All right, so let's continue to the other part. We are on 90K likes now. Please don't translate it. Enough has been stolen already. There's nothing that can be stolen. She's reading the question opposite. That's why she's not seeing all this. Yes, I'm seeing the new questions now. Ma, is it compulsory to have a shoe after Ifa divination? I would explain that. Please, I also asked, how does Ifa help you to regain lost energies? Through a divination. Just do a divination and Ifa will direct you on what exactly to do to regain anything that you have lost. So for the person that is saying, how do we enroll? Send a message via the WhatsApp number. Please, can I have that phone? Send a message via the WhatsApp number. If you have any other questions that is different from what we have talked about here, any other questions you have that I've not answered, maybe I skipped it or is not part of the class for today, so as not to distract ourselves, I will post the WhatsApp number here and you would have it. So for the person that is asking that how does Ifa help you to regain your lost glory or lost energy or whatever it is, I would explain. So I have pinned the WhatsApp number. I've pinned it and then you can send a message. Can you get an invoice for the app? Maybe I can sponsor. You can send a message via WhatsApp if you want to contribute in any way. Please, what did they say that why did they say that Ejiogbe Lobori Ifa, Ejiogbe ni Baba Ifa? Because it's the first Ifa. I would explain that, although I've explained this in one other video. This is for what does this mean? Okay, is it compulsory to have issue? I need to ask. Okay, does Ifa help you regain lost? I just want to put all the questions together before I drop the phone and continue. Can I do Egbe Orun after Egbe Egun after Etefa? Yes, you can. You can do your Egbe after Etefa, irrespective of what Egbe you have. Ma, after initiation, after Etefa, what initiation is next to be done? Okay, I would explain that. All right, please come and fix the phone back so I can continue. Just up from up. Fix it in from up. Let it go in from the top. Exactly, and then screw it. Let it go down. down, completely down, we remove the charge and then you can screw it. Screw it perfectly so it doesn't fall. Help me set the handle. You are trying to fix the phone, but set the handle. No, you have to turn it. Stand up. Screw out the hand. Screw out that same handle. Out. Screw it out. Yeah. And then, okay, it's okay. Then screw it back. Alright. Okay. So let me answer the questions that came up. The person that is asking that what do we use the bone and the move this thing here. Can you sing? Is it working? Bring it. It's working. Okay. Move the phone here. Just push it here. Push it here too. Push it. Okay. So for the person that was asking for the bone. So the bone and the bone and the no, turn it this way. No, this way. This way. Oh, it's okay then. Yeah, so the bone in the odru, when we use the Opele. Yeah, so the bone in the odru, when we use the Opele, is used. We're asking a yes or no question, and people, like we are casting a vote. Yes, that's what it's called in Yoruba. That we are casting a vote. Fix the fan for me. We are casting a vote. That is what Igbo is called. Please keep tapping, keep liking, so that the people that went off here, just fix the. So the people that went off can join us back. Yeah, it's okay. All right. So it is for Igbo when we are casting a lot, or we are having a vote for yes or no. So if the question you have come to ask the Babalawo is a yes or no question, if it is a yes or no question, now this is just for practice, so I won't bring that out. But then let's use something else to represent it. To represent the cowrie shells. All of these ones are for practice. The Erin logo tatishe, Opele tatishe, I don't use that one for practice. So let's say, for instance, this one represents the bone and this one represents the oweyo, right? So we will have it like this. We will ask the questions we'll ask, and then we go this way. 1, 2, like this, like this, like this, like this. We put it on one side. We can use this one to represent a yes, and we put it on this side. We use this one to represent the no, and we put it on this side. Then the Babalawo will ask the question, or if the client is sitting there, we'll ask the question, we'll put it down. Now, whatever comes up on this side, this is our yes. Whatever odru comes up on this side will determine whether it is the yes that IFÁ has picked, or the one that comes up on this side will determine whether it is the no that IFÁ has picked. Call your brother to come and fix it. To know whether it is the no that IFÁ has picked, that is when we make Igbo. Now, the response that we get during Igbo is just a yes or no. IFÁ can say, this thing you have asked, yes, you can do it, or no, you cannot do it. It is not a complete divination. A complete divination will come out in such a way that the Babalawo has to explain the Odrifa for you, and the Ebo and the Etutu that comes up with the Odru. That is how a complete divination is. But when we use the bone and the cowrie, we are just using Igbo. We are just making a consultation based on questions and answers. Just a yes or no question and answer, where we are casting a vote to know, is it this, is it that? That is for the Igbo. Now, the person that was asking, is it possible for IFÁ to help you gain your lost energies back? Yes. And that is, see, is it possible for IFÁ to do this? Absolutely anything at all. The answer to it is yes. Can IFÁ help you with this? Yes. The only way you will know the exact answer for it is through a divination. So whoever it is you are that you feel you have lost glory, lost energies, lost blessings, whatever it is, that you have that is lost. You are pressing something you are not supposed to press. Just up here, nothing else. So whatever glory or anything that you think has been lost, you will come for the IFÁ divination. Either you come in person or you reach out to me online, and then we ask IFÁ. You mention your name, your mother's name, and then we ask IFÁ. We are making this divination because Lagbaja or Lagbaja, let's say your name is Oluwaseun and your mother's name is Rachel. Oluwaseun ọmọ Rachel, òun ló wá dáfá lórí gbogbo ògo ẹ̀ tí ayé ti kó lọ, lórí ọrọ̀ ajé ẹ̀, lórí ìgbéyàwó ẹ̀, whatever it is that you are experiencing, and then we cast it down. Then the old IFÁ that comes out is what is now going to tell us about that your lost glory. How was it lost? What happened? Was there any mistake you made? Was it choices that your ancestors has made? Was it because of your relationship with this? Whatever it is, then IFÁ tells us how to be able to get that lost glory back, which will be through the Ètùtù and the Ẹbọ that comes up in the divination. There are different types of Ètùtù and Ẹbọ. So the appeasement and the sacrifice that comes up during the divination is how you are going to get that glory that has been lost back. And how then IFÁ will also give you instruction of how not to go back into that situation. So irrespective of what the situation is and what you think you have lost, IFÁ will be able to get it back. I told them to call your brother for me, tell him to come. That is how you are going to get whatever it is you think you have lost back. Is that okay? Now, for people that are also asking questions along the line of what can you learn, how can you learn, I've already explained that, I've responded to that. You can learn about IFÁ online, but you do not learn how to become a Babalawo or an Ìyánífá online. You cannot learn that one online. So many years of practice have to go into that. So the other part of the teaching, we're about to start that now. Please keep tapping, keep liking, keep sharing. Let's get every other person that was on this live streaming before that disruption. Let's get it back. Let's get them back. So somebody said, is it compulsory to have a shoe after your IFÁ initiation? It depends on the Odu that comes out for you. You see, a lot of questions that we ask, I tell people, IFÁ will answer these questions specifically. There's something you have to understand about IFÁ. IFÁ treats us as physical, so IFÁ treats us as separate human beings. We are separate. What is going to work for you is different from what is going to adjust that thing from the side so that we can get better lighting. What is going to work for you is different from just turn it gently. No, not that. Adjust the stand. No, back this way. What is okay is okay, then tilt the head. What is going to work for you is different from what will work for the next person to you. Move it close to me. Move it close to me. Alright, it's okay. Then turn it this way. So what's going to work for me and the instruction that will serve me is different from the one that will serve you. Which is why you cannot say, oh, because so person got a shoe after their initiation, you must get it. The questions I need to ask you is, what are the Odu that came out for you? And then at that point, during your Itefa, they are going to ask, which Orisha will you take along with you? Which Orisha will you be initiated to? Which Orisha will you have with you? All of those things are personal questions. That's how IFÁ treats us. We are different human beings. Personal difference. We are working on a different destiny and a different path. Now, when you come to a Babalawo, this is the other side of this, and then you make a divination. Say, for instance, we're going to do this now, and then we make a divination. Please, somebody tell me what Odu this has come out. This is what 1, 1, 2, 2. Check. Which one is 1, 1, 2, 2? Irosum. Irosum is 1, 1, 2, 2. The other side is what? 1, 2, 2, 1. What Odu is that? 1, 2, 2, 1. Otura. So this is Irosum Otura. So the Odu has come out as Irosum Otura. How does the Babalawo know what to tell him? Irosum Otura is an Odu Ifa that it is claimed to have more than maybe up to 400 essays, different Odus with different essays, and we have so many essays. Now, Ifa is the one that will guide the Babalawo into the essay that has to do with you. Based on the number of essay that the Babalawo knows on that Odu, he will begin to count different scenarios for you. Oh, maybe there is one Odu. Now, let's take for instance that we have, like we have this now. Let's take for instance, you have done a divination. I've done a divination for you, and this comes out. This is Odu Ifa Ejiobe. Now, there are so many essays in Ejiobe. Let me start to read. And this is where I will answer the question of the person that says, why is Ejiobe called Baba Ifa or Olori Ifa? Why is Ejiobe the head of all the Ifa divination? The Odu Ifas. Why is he the head of the Odu? Now, we are making reference to this book that is called The Sacred Ifa Oracle. And the first Odu is the Ejiobe. That's the first Odu. Odu ta kọ́kọ́ ní nìyẹn. It is the first Odu, and it is the masculine energy of the other Odus. I'll be explaining that to you in details. Now, it says Odu Ifa Ejiobe speaks of light, good health, general welfare, victory over enemies, spiritual awakening, long life, and peace of mind. That is what Odu Ifa Ejiobe talks about. Now, I'm speaking to my clients, assuming you are the one I did this Odu Ifa for. Ejiobe is the most important Odu. It symbolizes the masculine principle, and it is therefore regarded as the father of Odu. It is therefore regarded as the father of Odu. Is that okay? Now, it says here, in the fixed order that Ejiobe, Orunmila was the one that made this order. Children, read it for me from number 1 to 16. Number 1 is what? Ejiobe. Number 2 is what? Oyekumeji. Number 3 is what?
Imorimeji.
Number 4 is what?
Odimeji.
Number 5 is what?
Irosumeji.
Number 6 is what? Omorimeji. 7? Obarameji. 8? Okoranmeji. 9? Ogundameji. 10? Osameji. 11? Ikameji. 12? Oturupomeji, which is the Odu Ifa for this year. Odu Ifa Oturupomeji is the Odu Ifa for the Yoruba New Year that started a few days ago. Number 13, Oturameji. 14, Iretemeji. 15, Osemeji. And the 16, Ofumeji. Now, Orunmila gave us that order. You cannot change it, you cannot flip it, you cannot mix it. So, Orunmila was the one that put Ejiobe as the number 1 in the Odu, and it is the masculine energy. You would understand me as I'm going on now. He says in Ejiobe, the 2 sides are identical. Ogbe here and Ogbe there, just as we have it here. Ogbe is on the both left and the right side. The Odu should be called Ogbe Meji, but we call it Ejiobe for universality. Eji means 2. He says it is always about good omen. So when an Ifa priest, if I'm doing a divination for you now, and Ejiobe comes out, I know that the message Ifa is passing across to you for that situation you are facing is for good omen, good things, light, general victory, victory over your enemies. Everything is generally going to be good. So assuming you are asking a question on a business, should I do this business? Should I enter into business with this person? This Odrifa Ejogbe comes out, it says everything is good. Now, it goes further to say, during a divination session, the client for which Odru Ejogbe is divine is looking for peace and prosperity. That client is going through a situation that everything doesn't feel peaceful. The person is going through financial stress. People are ganging up against the person. The person is experiencing a lot of envy, jealousy, backstabbing. Generally, life is not good. Maritally, financially. That is the reason Odru Ejogbe comes out to tell the person to relax. Something good is on the way. He says the client has consulted Ifa because he or she wants children, or he or she wishes to embark on a new project. Ifa says that if this client makes the offering, the ebo that will come out, all the client's demand will be met and all of his or her undertaking will be successful. Ifa says in this Ejogbe. Ifa says in this Ejogbe that in this Odu that everything is going to be good for that client. The person is seeking for a child. Now, you see everything I'm saying now. Imagine that you came to me and you did not tell me anything. You just mentioned your name and Odu Ejogbe may come out. I will tell you that, are you seeking for a child? Either biologically or financially. Having a child is not only biological. Maybe you are actually infertile, you have been waiting, you have been struggling to conceive. That might be your situation. Or you have been working and there is no fruit coming out of your labor. That might be your situation. Or there is a new project you want to embark on and you don't know if that project is going to turn out well. I will begin to ask you these questions and to say this to you. Somebody around you is likely to be in need of a child. You are probably going through a situation that has a bit of a financial stress, or you are trying to embark on a new journey. Now, I would now tell you the ebo and the etutu that Ifa has asked you to do, the sacrifices and the appeasement. And the moment you do it, what Odrifa Ejogbe stands for, which is goodness, prosperity, peace, good news, childbirth, marriage, and every other good thing of life, it will come to you. Your demands will be successful. Sacrifice is needed to gain victory over enemies who might be blocking these clients. Like I said, these clients might be experiencing a lot of envy and jealousy from people. You know, there are certain people that, even at this point of their life where they are struggling, people just envy you unnecessarily. You don't understand why people are just ganging up against you. A lot of people are experiencing it. People that are better than you in life, they still want to take from you. They still want to stop you and block you. Everywhere you get to, it just looks like there's a mark on you that just makes the world your enemy. That is some people's everyday life from childhood. A Odrifa Ejogbe will come out for that person and will tell the person that they need to make ebo to be able to overcome that situation. He says here that if he or she has been working without progress or trading without profit, Ifa predicts prosperity and wealth, and if the person makes the necessary sacrifices, it will be done. Now, you know those group of people that everywhere you get to, people will just tell you, you are a great person. I can see glory around you. I can see you swimming in wealth. Oh, you are supposed to be a great person. Look at money around you. Ìwọ ni mo wò báyìí. Orí tó gbé wá sáyé oríire ni o. Ìwọ ló wọ́n mì lára ẹbí ìṣẹ̀gẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí. And then you are looking at them like, looking helter-skelter like, please, where is the owó that you can see? You that if they ask you for your bank account, you probably don't have up to 10,000 naira in dollars is about what? Less than $10. You don't even have up to 10,000 naira in your account. And everywhere you go to, people keep saying, you are a great man. you have glory around you. Ìyánífá Ẹwà is telling you that you are born with this wealth, but certain things have delayed it. Certain things have delayed it, and that is why you are experiencing those things. Now, in Ejiobe, IFÁ predicts long life, provided the client takes good care of his health. So when Ìyánífá Ẹwà comes out for you, long life is predicted. You are likely to experience long life in the things that you do. Tell him to charge this. You are likely to experience, David, tell him to charge it. You are likely to take it to him. Cover it and take it. You are likely to experience long life if you take care of your health. Naturally, IFÁ has given you long life, but you also need to be accountable. Now, I've just explained to you. You see that explanation I just gave you now? It has picked bits and pieces of different essay in that Odu. Some of it might apply to you directly. Some of it might apply to you figuratively. Some of it might apply to your past. Some of them might apply to your future. But there is nothing that the Odu Ifá says that is not true. It talks about your life. And you begin to look. And then we ask you as a Babalawo, Ṣé Jano? You will say Ifá Jano, meaning that everything that Ifá says, is it true? It's true, Baba. That's exactly the same thing I've been saying. A Babalawo does not need your friend to come and tell them about you before he knows these things. It's as simple as this. There is nothing mysterious about it. The only way a Babalawo can lie to you is because you don't know this Odu. If you know the Odu, after I have told you that Adafa fún ẹ Odu Ọ̀sà méjì ló jáde, and I start to say in Ọ̀sà méjì, Ifá says you should go and sell your house and come and give me the money. In Ọ̀sà méjì, Ifá says you should pack your load out of your husband's house and go. After I've told you all of those things, if you know, if you can see it and identify it, and you have learnt the Odu, you can go back and confirm it yourself. You see how easy it is. So those of you that you said one Babalawo lied to, except they hypnotized you, they have just used some metaphysical power to hypnotize your mind. But if it is in this Odu and in the translation of it, you can confirm it yourself. Ejiobe came out now. I'm reading it from a book. The person that wrote this book is not me. In fact, let's see the year they've written the book. Let's see, first published was which year? Let's look at the book. First published was 1990. First edition was 1995. 1995 was the first time this book was published. Your Babalawo was not the one that wrote this book. But everything, it will be there. Now, this book picks one or two essays here and there. Remember that one of the things that Ejiobe talked about, he talked about a child, that this person might be in need of a child. Now, how did we come about that? Being in need of a child. Let's make reference to this book. Ìwé Ifá Ẹ̀sìn Àkọ́dá Olódùmarè láti ọwọ́ Olóyè Ifálérè Ọ̀dẹ́gbèmí Ọ̀dẹ́gbọlá àti ìyá wa Olóòtú Ọ̀mọ̀wé Adéọlá Adijat Faleye, àwọn lọ́kọ ìwé yẹn, Ìwé Mímọ́ Ifá lọ́pẹ́. Now look at, I'm going to read one essay for you from Ìwé Mímọ́ Ifá that backs up the fact that I said if this Odu comes out for you, you are probably seeking to have a child or you are seeking to have a husband. Tí ìbímọ, tí ìrírí ọkọ gbé, let's see the Odu. Nínú Odu Ejiobe yìí, we'll be looking at Ejiobe essay kejì nínú Ejiobe yẹn. Now these are the essay. Essay is like verses. Odu Ifá is like chapter. Ìwé Mímọ́ Ifá is the holy book of Ifá. So like every other holy book has chapters and verses. Ifá too has, no, you can't do that. Ifá too has chapters and verses. So essay is the verses. The Odu itself, they are the chapters. Now, one of the verses is talking about this story. Very interesting story. I love to mention it. That is the story that tells me that Any client that comes up with this, the person needs to be fruitful, either biologically or in other areas, but most likely biological. So, odu ta mama ka ní odu èjì ogbe, ẹsẹ̀ kejì. Wọ́n ní nínú odù yìí, wọ́n ti ka odù yẹn, wọ́n ní adífá fún òyìgí tí ń sunkún aláìní bùdó. Odù yẹn lọ látòkè délẹ̀, ta la fi dífá fún òyìgí tí ń sunkún aláìní bùdó. So this odù, this essay was a divination that was first made for Oyigi. Oyigi is a woman, and she came to Ifá to make a divination because she did not have a home of her own. She was not married. Konipujoko. You know, we have Yoruba, the old ancient Yoruba and the current Yoruba. So in current Yoruba, we say Osunkun aláìní bùjókòó. She was crying to Ifá because she did not have her own matrimonial home. She was not married, she did not have a husband. Ancient Yoruba says Osunkun aláìní bùdó. Oyigi tí Ifá ń sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ nínú ẹsẹ̀ Ifá yìí, ọmọge ni, kò sì rí ọkọ fẹ́. Oyigi that Ifá is talking about in this essay Ifá, we are still on Ejiogbe. She says, Ifá says she's a maiden, she's a virgin young lady, and she is not married. She's single, never been married. Ó wá lọ dáfá pé báwo ni òun ṣe lè ní ọkọ tí òun yóò sì rí ọmọ bí. Then she went to do a divination asking her Babalawo, how will I get married and how will I be able to have children? Wọ́n sọ fún pé yóò rí ọmọ bí, ọkùnrin ni ọmọ tí Ifá sọ pé yóò bí, àti pé ọ̀nà ìyanu ni yóò gbà bí ọmọ ẹ̀. Go and call your sisters to continue. Call all of them here. They said here that when she went to make a divination asking for husband, matrimonial home, Ifá responded and said she will give birth to a child. She went in search of a husband because naturally husband should come before child. Please keep tapping on your screen or power tap. I know you are enjoying this live streaming, but the only way to keep it moving is when you tap on your screen. Keep tapping, keep liking, keep sharing. Keep liking, keep sharing. I've explained the bone and the Cowrie in the Opele. Where were you? I've explained it now. I even gave you a descriptive example. If you missed that part, please catch us on the replay on YouTube. I've explained that part. She went to search for a child, for a husband. And Ifá says she's going to have a child. Ifá did not mention anything about husband. Now, it says here, after they told her, you'll be more, Ifá says she will have a child, and her child will be a male child. And Ifá says, ọ̀nà ìyanu ni yóò gbà bí. Ifá says that child is going to be born miraculously. That's what Ifá told her. Wọ́n ní kí ó tọ́jú eku méjì, ẹja méjì, adìẹ méjì, àti ogójì ọ̀kẹ́ owó. They told her to make ẹbọ using eku méjì, 2 rats, ẹja méjì, 2 fish, adìẹ méjì, 2 female chicken hen, and then ọ̀kẹ́, ogójì ọ̀kẹ́ owó. Ogójì is ogún méjì, that's 40 pieces of silver, 40 pieces of whatever it is that their currency was. Ó ṣètùtù yìí, àwọn babaláwo ṣẹ́ Ifá fún. Wọ́n sọ fún pé babaláwo ni ṣe ọmọ náà. She did the ètùtù, she did the ẹbọ, she did the appeasement and sacrifice, and babaláwo did ìṣẹ̀fá for her. Wọ́n ṣẹ́ Ifá fún. And they told her that her son will also be a babaláwo. Láìpẹ́, kò rí nǹkan oṣù rẹ̀ mọ́. Nígbà tí kò sí ní ọkọ, kò ka àpẹẹrẹ yìí kún. After that whole thing was done, she skipped her monthly period. But because she has not been with a man, she doesn't have a husband, she has not been with a man, she did not count it as anything. Because a woman that is in a husband's house, the moment she misses her period, the first thing that comes to her mind is, am I pregnant? But Oyigi was not married, and she has still not found a man, or a man has still not found her, whichever way they are finding each other. So she did not count that situation of missing her period as anything. She just felt okay to come back. Now, nígbà tí ó pé oṣù mẹ́fà, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀ sọ fún pé ó ti lóyún. Now you see this story is the story of a woman who did not have a child. So from this essay, I can tell you when you come for this divination that it is likely you also need a child, whether biological child or you need fruitfulness. Maybe that's what they call children, fruit of the womb. So your own might be fruit of the womb, most likely. It might be fruit of labor. It might be fruit in your finances, in your business, in whatever it is. You see? So he says after 6 months, her friend started telling her that, Oyigi, babe, it looks like you are pregnant. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí jọ Oyigi lójú torí pé òun kò ní ọkọ. Oyigi was surprised at this statement because she wasn't married. Òun kò sì ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú ọkùnrin kankan. Listen to the specifics of IFÁ. I mean, if a woman is not married, she could have met with a man, she could have been intimate with a random man. But Oyigi said she was not married and she has never been intimate with a man. How can she be pregnant? Èyí ló jẹ́ kó tọ̀ àwọn awo rẹ̀ lọ. Wọ́n sọ fún pé Ifá sọ pé oyún ló wà nínú rẹ̀. So when this happened, she had to go back to her awo. See, back in the day, every question that we ask, we go to the awo, and we need to keep up with that practice. Back in the day, once there is any dispute, you have any question, you don't understand a certain thing that is happening, you go to your babalawo to ask questions. And that is why every step of the way they were guided. And we also need to continue that practice today. We need to continue that practice today. For those of you that are asking questions, any question you are asking, let me pin the WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number is posted by that page, Kana. That's the WhatsApp number. I've pinned it. You can send a message and ask your questions. You want to do a divination, you want to do your IFÁ, you want to register for IFÁ college. Any questions you have, that's my direct WhatsApp line. So they had the habit of asking from their babalawo, and Oyigi too went to ask. And the babalawo asked Ifá, and Ifá says, Oyún ló wà nínú. Ifá says a child is inside and she's pregnant. Ọ̀nà tí ó gbà lóyún yìí, ó jọ àwọn náà lójú. Babalawos too were surprised. How did she get pregnant? Because if she has been with a man, her babalawos would have seen it. You cannot hide anything from Ifá. You can't hide anything from the babalawo. Wọ́n mú lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ Ọ̀rúnmìlà bára àgbọn rẹ̀ mú. Ọ̀rúnmìlà sì fún ní ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé pé olókìkí ọmọ ni ọmọ náà yóò sì jẹ́ babaláwo pẹ̀lú. They took her to Opele and says, we have not seen this kind of a thing before. We have not seen this before. We don't know how to explain this. And when they got to Opele gave her full details about her situation. Because Opele and Ifá are communicating. Opele already knows that a child is going to come that is born in this mysterious way. And Opele told her that the child is going to be very famous and he was going to be a babalawo. Ọ̀rúnmìlà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní tọ́jú rẹ̀. Igi ni Oyigi ń ṣẹ́tà fún oúnjẹ. Ọ̀rúnmìlà started taking care of her. Oyigi was a wood cutter, so she would go into the woods and cut down trees and bring them back home for work or for sale. Ó lọ ṣẹ́ igi ní ọjọ́ kan ní ó bá bímọ sínú igbó. She went on her daily duty to cut down trees one day, and she had her baby in the forest. Ó lọ sí abúlé tí ó súnmọ́ ibẹ̀. Ó pè wọ́n sí ìyàlẹ́nu àwọn ènìyàn tí wọ́n dé ibẹ̀. Wọ́n bá ọmọ náà. There's a community around where she had her baby in the forest. People came out and they saw the child and they were surprised. Ó ti dá ìwọ ara rẹ̀. Ìwọ is the umbilical cord that connects the mother to the child. The cord has been cut. They got there, they were surprised. Ojo kò sí orí ọpọ́n Ifá. The baby was sitting, mother and baby, sitting on ọpọ́n Ifá right there. Those were the things that they saw that made it look like, what's going on here? This is a special situation. Wọ́n tẹ̀lé Òyìgí kí ó kúrò. Wọ́n tẹ̀lé Òyìgí, wọ́n mú lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn babaláwo nítorí ọmọ ńlá tí ó bí. They followed Òyìgí, they took her, they congratulated her because of this great child that she has had. Wọ́n sì padà sí ibùjẹ wọn. Òyìgí gbé ọmọ náà, ó gbé lọ sílé. After congratulating her, they went back to their homes. Òyìgí took the child and went home. Òyìgí lọ bèrè pé kí ni orúkọ ọmọ yìí. Òyìgí went to find out from her babalawo what's the name of the child. Look at another instance again. She went back to ask from her babalawo. That is the way it has always been. That is the way it is. These are the guidance that we need in life. But so as to confuse the entire black race, they cut us off from where we will be getting guidance on our life every day, and they told us to turn back on it and call it evil and demonic and everything so that we can be lost. Because when you do not have anybody to ask questions from, to guide you, to direct you, what's going to happen? You will be lost within, should we try this? Your life will now become a trial and error. As little as naming a child, we usually ask questions. Inú nǹkan tá à ń pè ní àkọsẹ̀jayé, which was supposed to have been done for every child shortly after birth, to know the direction of that child's life, what the child is going to do, the career the child is going to pick up, is going to come up with. Is the child going to succeed in their home country? Is that child supposed to travel? So many things we are supposed to know during that àkọsẹ̀jayé, including the name of the child. And we know how spiritually powerful the name of a person is. They disconnected us from everything. But we are grateful to Olodumare, to our ancestors, that we are coming back. That we are coming back to our source. So as we are coming back, this is something you have to take note of. Constantly asking, what does Ifá say about this situation? So she went back to ask for the name. Wọ́n ní kí ọmọ náà máa jẹ́ Ẹ̀là ọmọ Òyìgí. And they said that the name of the child will be called Ẹ̀là, the son of Òyìgí. Now that is where the name Ẹ̀là came from. I'm sure you must have been hearing Ẹ̀là this, Ẹ̀là that. Most widely heard topic is Ẹ̀là Jesus. Ẹ̀là is Ẹ̀là. Ẹ̀là is Ẹ̀là. And you see this story of Ẹ̀là, the virgin birth of this great famous babalawo that was recorded here, has been recorded here centuries before they brought Bible to Yoruba land. The story of the virgin birth of the person was here. Now we'll continue to find out how powerful and spiritually gifted that child is. He says, orúkọ ẹ̀ yóò máa jẹ́ Ẹ̀là. Ọmọ yìí ń dàgbà ní ojoojúmọ́. Nígbà tí ó tó iṣẹ́ kọ́, Òyìgí fà á lé Ọ̀rúnmìlà lọ́wọ́. Ó sì kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ dé ojú àmì. The child started to grow in wisdom and knowledge every day. And when he was grown enough to learn a trade, his mother Òyìgí handed him over to Ọ̀rúnmìlà, and he started to learn how to become a babalawo. And he learned it, he learned it to a satisfactory, and he learned it to the height of what that profession and career could give. He says, Ẹ̀là ọmọ Òyìgí, ó ní òtítọ́ púpọ̀ sí Ọ̀rúnmìlà àti gbogbo èèyàn. He was very truthful, very loyal, and very faithful to Ọ̀rúnmìlà and to everybody. Tó bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́, nígbà tí Ọ̀rúnmìlà fẹ́ padà sí òde ọ̀run, ó pe gbogbo àwọn awo àti ọmọdé àti àgbà. Ó ní àkókò ti tó fún òun láti fi ààbò fún Olódùmarè. Now, Ẹ̀là was so loyal, so faithful faithful, so truthful, so knowledgeable in what he has taught, to the point that when Orunmila wanted to return back to heaven, Orunmila called all the Awo and told them that it is time for me to go back to Olodumare and give account of what I've done so far. I was sent from there to come here and work. It's time for me to go back. But he said something. He said, kí wọ́n ó fẹ́ fi àbọ̀ lọ fún Olódùmarè bí wọ́n bá fẹ́ bá òun sọ̀rọ̀ kí wọ́n sọ fún Ẹ̀là òun yóò gbọ́ ohun tí wọ́n bá sọ. He said now that he's going, remember that everybody that wanted to make inquiries used to go to Orunmila. He says now that he's going, if they have any communication to make with him, they should do it with Ẹ̀là ọmọ Oyigi. They should ask Ẹ̀là, and everything they say to Ẹ̀là, he would hear them and respond. Ó pé Olódùmarè pé kí ó dá àwọn sílẹ̀, ó sì bá lọ sí òde ọ̀run, and Orunmila told Olódùmarè to drop the chain. Remember the chain that is recounted in the creation story of IFÁ and Ìṣẹ̀ṣe. Olódùmarè dropped that chain down again. The same chain through which Orunmila came to this earth, Olódùmarè dropped it down again, and Orunmila went to Ọ̀run through that chain. Ẹ̀là ṣe iṣẹ́ yìí fún ìgbà pípẹ́. Ẹ̀là continued to do this work as a babaláwo for a long time. Ẹ̀là ọmọ Oyigi kò níyàwó, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kò bí ọmọ. Ẹ̀là, the son of Oyigi, did not have a wife, neither did he have children. Nígbà tí àkókò tó tí ó fẹ́ padà lọ, ó sọ fún gbogbo àwọn babaláwo pé òun yóò máa gbọ́ ohun tí wọ́n bá wí. Àṣẹ tí Ọ̀rúnmìlà fi sílẹ̀ kí ó tó lọ ni kí wọ́n máa tẹ̀lé. When it was also time for Ẹ̀là to go, Ẹ̀là called all the babalawos together and said he will still continue to hear them, and he will still continue to communicate with them. They should continue to follow what Ọ̀rúnmìlà has said to them. He says, àṣẹ tí Ọ̀rúnmìlà fi sílẹ̀ ni kó máa tẹ̀lé. Ìdí nìyí tí ó fi jẹ́ wípé tí a bá ti pe Ẹ̀là rọ̀ ní ìgbà mẹ́ta, Ọ̀rúnmìlà rọ̀ ní ìgbà mẹ́ta, yóò gbọ́ láti òde ọ̀run láti fèsì ìbéèrè wa, which is why when we say Ẹ̀là rọ̀ 3 times, Ọ̀rúnmìlà rọ̀ 3 times, they will hear from Ọ̀run and respond to our messages. Bákan náà ni àwọn ènìyàn yóò sì dáhùn sí ìbéèrè wọn, and once they ask, we will receive responses. That is the story in Ìyánífá Ẹwà. Now imagine that whole essay that we read now is the reason I would tell a client that you are seeking a husband or you are seeking a child, and Ifá says according to Ìyánífá Ẹwà that you will have it. You see how simple it is? Now there are so many other essays, one by one, that the Babalawo will pick from to tell you what your situation is, because that is the Odu that came out for you. The Babalawo will be able to tell you what the situation is based on that Odu. This is the system of divination and how we make interpretations. And with every Odu, there is always an Ebo. With Ìyánífá Ẹwà, Ẹsẹ̀kejì, he says, Eku méjì, ẹja méjì, abo adìyẹ méjì, àti ogójì ọ̀kẹ́ owó. That is what the person is supposed to use for Ebo. So anybody that this Ìyánífá comes out for, and the person is seeking a child, we will tell the person to bring all of these items to make a sacrifice, to make Ebo. We will put the Ebo, Agbesi Eshu, and Eshu will accept the Ebo and grant the person's request. As simple as that. That is how simple it is. There is nothing mystical about it, and there is nothing that is supposed to be hidden about it. There is nothing we are hiding about it. That is it. Now remember that somebody asked that why is Ejiogbe. Why is it called Baba Ifa? And we say Ejiogbe is a masculine energy. Now let's move to the second Odu, which is Oyekumeji. Oyekumeji will come out like this in your Odu using Opele. This is Oyekumeji. And when we are doing it on our Opon Ifa, this is Odu Ifa. Fix the fan for me. This is Odu Ifa Ejiogbe. 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. This is Ejiogbe. The Odu Ifa that we just saw. Ejiogbe is like this. On our Opele, Ejiogbe is like this. And on the Opon is like this. Odu Ifa Oyekumeji, which is the next in line. Odu Ifa Oyekumeji is like this. 2, 2, 2, 2. And 2, 2, 2, 2. That's Odu Ifa Oyekumeji. Now let's see what Oyekumeji says. Odu Ifa Oyekumeji signifies darkness, unhappiness. It warns about death, sickness, worries, bad omen, yet it carries the solution to these problems. Now, very important part. I need you to listen. Very important part. This will help you to understand the mystery, quote and unquote, but I will call it the science that is in Ifa. Oyekumeji speaks of darkness, unhappiness. It warns about sickness and death. Meanwhile, Odu Ifa Ejiogbe, which is the first one, Ejiogbe speaks of light, general good health, good well-being, victory over enemy, long life, and peace of mind. You see that Oyekumeji is the exact opposite of Ejiogbe. Please, if you are following me, let me know. Keep tapping. Let me have responses. Can you see that Oyekumeji is the direct opposite of Ejiogbe? And then keep your gifts coming in. Follow, like, share, send in your gifts and answer the question. Can you see that Oyekumeji is the direct opposite of Ejiogbe? Ejiogbe speaks of goodness, of success, of victory. Oyekumeji speaks of the exact opposite. Now, Oyekumeji is the second principal Odu. It symbolizes the feminine energy of the Odu. Ejiogbe and Oyekumeji, masculine and feminine, gave birth to the remaining 14 Odus. Ejiogbe is the Baba Ifa. Oyekumeji is the